welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for something a bit different on this channel. Something we haven't actually done. It's non-football related for much international, but we've all been bored. It's a bit miserable on the Arsenal side as well. Let's not talk about football for one podcast and Night in the Mood. And the thing is, the only thing that really comes to British culture and British comedy at Night in the Mood is Only Fools and Horses. Going way, way back with Sir David Jason, Nicholas Stentus, Leonard Pearce, who was actor of Grandad, Bernard as well for Uncle Albert, and you've got Boyce, John. I can't remember John that plays Boyce. You've got Trigger, who's passed away obviously in the last few years. All these amazing characters, all this amazing writing as well, and literally down to a T. No matter how many times you watch it, it's always funny. And I thought, get some of you guys, get some of the guys here together as well to reminisce on these and have a laugh and go through our sort of, not just our favourite episodes, but the moments and the characters and things like that. Just the things that made us love this program so much. It's so revered even now to be the most voted the most popular comedy even today. It hasn't actually aired a newer episode since 2003, and we're now in 2020. That's the level of what the bar they hit. As you can see, obviously, I'm joined by Melvin and Russ and Sam. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So let's start off. I'll start with you, Melvin. When it comes to Only Fools and Horses, what is it about Only Fools that the program that you like so much and you still want to watch over and over again?
I've actually never seen it.
Oh.
He just wanted to come on.
I mean, no, there are. Listen, the funny thing is when you see little clips of Fools and Horses, as you say, you know what's going to happen, but it still makes you laugh. I mean, one of the ones, there's the obvious ones, but one of the ones I love is when they talk about Trigger's broom. That scene, when they're talking about, it's like, it's only 2 minutes, but it's got so many laughs in it at so many different levels. And the acting is fantastic. The characters are out of this world. And you're just talking about a bloody broom. And it is so, so funny. I love that one. There's others as well, but I love that one.
It's also also that build-up with Trigger as well. He says, I've been giving this a walk because I've saved the council money. I spoke to Councillor Murray. And it turns out, this one, over 20 years, has had 17 new heads, 14 new handles. And Sid, like, hang on. And Sid pipes up, how's that the same fucking broom then? Where's the picture?
And also, I think one of the lines was, someone says something like, it's a 20. Yeah, that's nearly a score, someone said. And then things like that, little lines like that.
Yeah, brilliant. That's 2 decades. Rodney pipes up that.
That's it.
Yeah, 2 decades Trigger. I won't go that far, Dave.
Old Dave's thing, amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
Even that, they addressed that in the early episodes, in the first few seasons of it. Why do you always call me Dave Trigger? My name's Rodney. Are you sure? Yeah.
Why they call you Dave then? Yeah.
No one does. Everyone calls me Rodney. And that's because my name is Rodney. I might as well get used to that. And 2 seconds later, oh yeah, so me and Dave got to get going. It's Rodney, whatever.
Quality, absolute quality. And they had you on some of the things, most of the things actually. You didn't know what the punchline was. Most comedies, you know what it's building up to. You can see it happening, and all of a sudden, you know something funny is going to happen, but you've got no idea what angle it's coming from, and that's the genius of it all.
Yeah.
We even put when we're fed the bar thing. You know something's coming, but you don't know it's going to be that moment where he just goes like a plank of wood into, and then the aftermath of it. You're not going to try hitting them girls, Del. No, Trig, you're cramping my style. You're cramping my style. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's like the old shoulder.
Yeah. Oh dear. What about yourself, Sam? What are your sort of memories of it?
I mean, I grew up with it at a young age. I'm born in 80. The first episode was in 81, but I started seeing it when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, and it was just from there. I really liked it. Then I moved abroad, and there were so many episodes then in the 90s I didn't see. But we caught up with them later on. And yeah, I mean, there's just so much there. It's the characters. I mean, you got Del Boy, who basically he just thinks he's the bee's knees, right? You know, he's just always, he lives in a rotten little council flat in Peckham, but he's always well dressed. He's got the shoes. He's got the clothes. He's got his file of facts. You know, he's got the nice overcoat. You know, because that's what he wants to be. He's aspiring to be
sheepskin coat. Yeah,
he's always aspiring to be. You know, there's a whole yuppie thing. You know, the late '80s. He's always aspiring to be so much more. Yeah,
don't get a type in.
I mean, he really has style and he knows how to dress and everything, but he just, you know, he has no money. He just never has any money. All his money goes into that, and you know, it's that whole the yellow Robin Reliant, you know, with the Trotters trading and that. We just think they have that all the time, you know, and all the scamming, the classic scamming, you know, the marketplace and all that in the markets, and it's just that combination of those three characters, Grandad, Rodney, and Del Boy. It's just that chemistry between them. It's just absolutely incredible. All the you know, the lines and what happens, you know, the plots and everything. It's absolutely amazing, and you know, and it's just like you say, it's these characters. That Del Boy, the character for me is really the main thing for me. And it was also Del Boy, his character who drives it all, and you know, he's just that persona he has. That you know, he just thinks he's so much better than what he is, and he even tries in vain to do. He thinks he can speak a little bit of French. Yeah. You know, the rubbish French he always comes up with. You know, just has no meaning whatsoever. But he thinks it sounds good. You know, because he thinks that's, if you're posh, you talk French. You know, and it's just so amazing, isn't it? And there's so many incredible episodes and so many laughable, you know, funny moments and everything. And yeah, I mean, for me, I suppose we'll go over later on all the episodes we like the best. So I won't start listing them up now. But you know, I mean, yeah, there's just so many. There's so many great episodes and so many great moments that really made me laugh. And you know, there's and like Melvin says, it's one of those very seldom series that you never ever get tired of it. You know, you never ever. It's like with a lot of series, you've seen it once, twice. You've seen it, not really bothered to see it again. But with Only Fools and Horses, I mean, I can play those episodes again and again and again and again and again, and it just never gets tiring. Even though you know where the punchlines are, you know what's happening. It's still funny. You know, that is the genius of it. It never ever gets old, and yeah, it's just an amazing series, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, just touch on, because you mentioned Grandad. The one-liners, he was always given these one-liners. He always landed them spot on timing-wise. It's just brilliant.
Oh yeah, and it was just that whole character. Sorry, Ryan. Was you going to say something? No, sorry, I was sorry.
No, it's like it came across that he was the only character that could really stick it to Del Boy, and Del Boy had too much respect for him to go, "You fucking what?"
Exactly. There's that whole. There's the respect, right? Because his granddad, he has respect for him, but. Yeah. It's just and Grandad, that character as well, you know, just living in his old little bubble, his little old the war stories and everything. You know, during the war, you know, and here we go.
Uncle Albert, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was Uncle Albert later. Who just came in his little war bubble, was just like, during the war, and everyone's just switched off. Here we go. You know.
But no matter what happened in the episode, it always relates back to the war at some point. With Albert.
Yeah. Exactly. Uncle Albert came in later, of course. Yeah.
And there was that one episode where Del Boy's like, if you said during the war one more fucking time, I'm going to pour this tea over you. I wasn't going to say that. It wasn't a war. During the conflict of 1914 to 1945.
Brilliant. See? And like Melvin says, that is the nuances in the writing there. You know, it's just genius. It really is. It's real genius.
Oh dear. I mean, Vash, I haven't come to you. What about yourself? What are your abiding memories of this?
Well, I guess it's not just the central characters; it's the characters built around them. Because you've got like Boise, you've got Marlene, you've got Denzel, you've got Trigger, you've got all the others like the bar. Was it David Barr? Bar? Yeah, you got the bars and everything like the the pub is just great. I just love it when they all go to the pub, have a good chat and do everything else, and like they have poker schools and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it was just a great cast, really. I mean, it was just amazing. And I actually preferred not the weekly shows, the specials, because those are the ones that sort of like stick in my memory the most. You know, it's like Hull and Back and other ones like that. Those are absolutely fantastic. Jolly Boys Outing, and all of those just great cast of characters. It was really good. And I mean, I'm sort of like Sam's age. I started watching it when I was quite young, but I never really took it in until I was sort of like in my teens, when one of my best mates would watch it all the time. I used to like go around his house, and it just always used to be on. So yeah, I used to watch quite a lot of them. Then obviously they were on repeats on Sky and everything else. So, but yeah, I mean, I was still watching now. But yeah, the very, very funny show. Great memories out of it.
And also, in the latter years, they weren't afraid to touch on the hard hitting sort of parts of a real life, basically, like as you saw with Cassandra and Rodney having to deal with a miscarriage and things like that, and the aftermath of it all, and affecting not just obviously Cassandra, but the mental side of it when it comes to Rodney. They weren't afraid to do that, whilst also sticking to what they always done in the past with the comedy in and around it. So that's a 2-minute little bubble of, this is reality, this is how I'm feeling, I can't cope, I need to help, but I can't do it, because even back then it was seen as, even like you are now, if a man comes out and reveals his feelings, it's like, what you doing?
Yeah, it's still a bit taboo, isn't it?
The show itself weren't afraid to push that boundary and show that men can talk about their feelings to other men, and then not be that stigma of, oh, you're a wimp, what are you doing, and this, that, and the other. I mean, we'll go. Let's touch on the specials. I mean, yeah, as you said, the specials really do hit home. I mean, the main one for me, obviously, the Jolly Boys Out into Hull and Back, but also Miami Twice, where they obviously the 2-parter, and it's obviously the second part where they gone off to Miami. It turns out there's this double gang of Del Boy, who's the mafia of Miami, basically running Miami, about to go to jail, and then suddenly Del pops up and almost saves his life, basically. And in the process, it all goes to hell. But it's like,
you say Marlene and they're all both on holiday, aren't they, at the same time? And they keep thinking they're seeing Del when they are actually seeing him.
Yeah, literally, near the end, they literally pop. They're doing on the what's the name? Oh, in the swamp base.
On the Everglades,
Everglades, yeah. And Rodney. Boise that starts taking photos, and then suddenly, as he's taking photos, he takes a photo of Del popping out of the grass. Marlene. For a second there, I thought that's what. Then the volley pops up. Fuck yeah, now, Rodney, Boise, get over here! What the fuck are you doing here? I forgot to kiss you at Gatwick. Oh mate, it's just really good in that episode as well, because every time they spoke over the Yanks, no matter who it was, they go, got an Australian accent, you're from Australia. We're fucking British. And amongst all that, back home, obviously the local priest has done their christening in the first part. There's having to deal with the whole Bishop of Canterbury, this, that, and the other, because Del Boy's done them over by accident or whatever, by giving them white wine instead of red wine, because he's obviously trying to do this deal where obviously this priest has all the blessings, sends it off around the country and this, that, and the other, so they don't have to do it. All they have to do is arrive, they do, and they don't have to bless it. But it turns out it's Romanian Riesling, and they're
Riesling, yeah.
So when the time they come back, is actually their flat is head to toe deep with Romanian Riesling, which continues into other episodes. But also there's also, talk about the characters. One of the characters that really stands out even now is Slater, the bent copper, because obviously he eventually got his comeuppance in one of the specials, didn't he? To Hull and Back, he got his comeuppance there. Yeah. And it's even there that knowing that you having them sort of characters where you have that one character, that one person no one really likes, in that friendship group, but you grew up with him, know what he's like. So you got to be on eggshells basically around him.
That's Jim Broadbent as well in an early role. Jim Broadbent became
he was meant to be Del Boy originally, but he couldn't do it for some reason.
And even what was it? Obviously, they cast the dad, didn't they, for one-off episode of Christmas or something, and he was like a spit of no resemblance of Rodney and this, that, and the other. And
I remember that. I remember that guy. Yeah, who was the father. He only showed up for one episode.
And literally, and then from that, they sort of built a story of basically a few years later, where it turns out their mum had basically played away one time.
Freddie Robdall,
Freddie the Frog, was he did a spin-off and sort of explained it all. Who was a spit of Rodney, basically, in the prequels they did. Obviously, they used Nicholas as Freddie Robdall, but it's like they sort of used when I was saying that back. Every now and then it'd pop up. It wasn't like the predominant thing, and it only really got rammed home and really confirmed that this person is Freddie Robdall is actually Rodney's dad.
His dad, yeah.
At the last ever episode, it really goes like round time. Like, there's no ifs and buts. He is Rodney's dad and things like that. And even Del Boy said, no matter who your dad is, I'm your brother. I'm going to stick by you no matter what. It's in little things as well. It showed another side, as we say about Del Boy being this, thinking he's above his station. He always put his family first, because obviously from a young 16, 17-year-old lad, having to bring up his younger brother, look after his granddad, be the breadwinner basically, because obviously his mum passed away. 2 months later, his dad pisses off on his 16th birthday. So he had all that to do. He's always had that to deal with. He's always had that power. So when obviously Raquel then comes along later on in life, he explains, I've always had that responsibility, and I don't want to let it. I don't know how to let it go. When it comes to Rodney and things like that, because I've always been there for them. I mean, we're going to go to favourite episodes. I mean, Melvin, what was some of your favourite episodes?
One of the ones that, not that we talk a lot about them, a lot of people talk about the obvious ones, but one that's not really spoken about a lot, in my opinion, the one I love was the one in the supermarket. When they get held up.
Held
Do you remember
up
that
at
one?
gunpoint, yeah.
They seek him there. The Black Shadow. Like that. You had that guy singing it. And the funny thing was it was all, as we know, it was all set up for the robbery, and the manager of the store was in it.
Security guard, he was in it, yeah.
Yeah, the Black Shadow turns around to Rodney, goes around to Delboy and goes, don't I know you? He goes, no, don't know me. Then about 2 minutes later, the alarm's supposed to go off, and it's 15. He goes, it's 15 minutes late. So the guy goes, no, that's not the right time. It's that. I bought this watch down the market the other week. He goes, it never works properly. You can see Delboy going like, nothing to do with me. It's so clever. How it all comes around back to him. Something you hear 5 minutes ago, it comes back. Even at the beginning, comes back at the end. It's so clever, the writing and the thought of it. But that did, I wish I could remember it. The Black Shadow, the way he used to say it. So funny. I thought it was an excellent one, that.
Yeah, and at the end of it, he goes, I have a funny feeling I'm going to be your 1,000th customer, or whatever it is.
No, that's it, that's right. The competition, he's to win. Very, very good. I love that one.
Because all their food, amongst all the food they actually did buy went manky. So it's like, you know what? I've got a feeling I'm going to be a millionth customer or 1,000th customer, what it is.
Yeah, whatever it was,
because the winner obviously gets their steak wiped. They don't have to pay a penny for their groceries and all that. It's just like a bit of a karma thing there. But also in that episode, when right near the end of the overnight thing, and Rodney's going towards the desk, and the Black Shadow was literally asleep with
a gun, wasn't it?
With a gun and cigarettes. And they all think he's going for the gun. And literally just goes,
I've done it.
Cigarettes. And he turns on big grin on he turns around with a smug look on his face like he's done something brilliant. And you
I've beaten the odds.
Oh dear. I mean, what was it? What about the one where I think it was one of the early ones as well, the first season, when Boise first pops up and they're borrowing his Jaguar that he's bought for this mistress of his. They went out on the town and this, that, and the other, and basically at the end, a car that he sold to an Aussie earlier, who's a bit, and the car was a bit on his last leg, so he say, just happens to run into him basically right at the end. He's like, I'm gonna fucking get you. Because he's obviously crashed into the back of his car, Boyce's car, and Boyce's
the brakes didn't work, did they?
Yeah.
Nothing worked.
Just little things like that. And what was it? The Queen Anne cabinet. He thought he got. Yeah, the wardrobe and all that. And this posh bird turned up thinking it was a Queen Anne. Obviously, so it's Queen Elizabeth, but obviously she wanted this painting. She did everything she could to trick Dale into thinking she was interested in him. So she took this fucking rotten piece of furniture, took it back to her shop to fix up to get on his side. And all along, he's like, thank God. He says, "Told me you wanted it because I would have just given it to her." And she's, because of who she is and how she is, he's like, "Do you really think you don't know what this is worth? I know exactly what it's worth because my mum's mum, or my nan's best mate, actually nicked that from the actual bit. So I know exactly how much that's worth and how hot that really is. And because she's got into it just before he said that, she's obviously got into it. Oh, my mummy and daddy have signed it off and said it's been in the family for generations. So is it literally? And then people start investigating. Like, hang on, this what missing. And she's like, oh fuck. She's just realised and he just like walked away, the biggest grin on his face, like, right, goodbye, sweetheart, because she hated being called sweetheart. But it's that moment where he just gets that one over on somebody who thought she was better than him because of how she was brought up and where he lives. Oh, I mean, but even at the beginning of the episode, when he's like, oh, I don't know how much I should knock it out for. Again, when I talk about Grandad with the one-liners, he's like, what, I don't know, 95? He doesn't say £95 or anything. And Grandad steps up and says, why don't you go the whole hog and make it £1?
Yeah.
Oh dear. I mean, Sam, what about yourself when it comes to the episodes? What are your sort of standout?
Well, there's. I mean, of course, there's been so many good episodes, but a few standout ones for me are. There's a couple, of course, of the classics. They're just so funny. I mean, you just can't help but, I mean, they're just incredibly funny. Like, like the standard one, what's it called? Yuppie Love, they call it, one where he falls through the bar.
Yeah.
That one, and it's just, I mean, it's just a whole Del Boy thing. He thinks he's going to pull, he's got the file of facts. It's so important that file of facts is showing he's a yuppie, he's a city, supposed to be a city. They try and pretend they work in the city, right?
Massive mobile phone, yeah.
Massive mobile phone and the file of facts, and that's they're going to go down to that fancy bar and pull a few city birds, and oh my god, it just ends up a complete mess, doesn't it? Just such a great episode, and of course that one, I think it's called Danger UXD or something. I see with the inflatable sex dolls. When that first happened, when they popped up behind that radiator, they popped up. I nearly fucking died. Seriously, I laughed so hard I thought I was going to die. And again, you know what's so magical? I was watching that episode with my parents, my mum and my dad together, and we was all watching it together. And it's the only time I think in my entire life when all of us together laughed equally hard at the same moment. At that same moment, we all laughed so we nearly died, the three of us. And it was just such an amazing moment. What an amazing episode that was,
But again, it goes back to the writing, though.
Oh, incredible! John Sullivan, is a genius script writer. Like Melvin said, there's that little red line that goes through. You don't really see it, but all of a sudden it comes back to something that's stupid they've done, comes back to haunt them. It's always karma, isn't it? Karma all the way, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and there's a few other episodes like. I can't remember which one it was, but it's that one we ends up doing hang gliding. Rodney makes hang gliding. Oh, it's like Rodney, you're supposed to stop that deal where they're supposed to stop. He's supposed to stop him just before he goes. And Rodney just lets him go. Rodney just lets him go. Like, Rodney. Off he goes. That's fantastic.
Going back to the bar scene, Sam, I don't think anyone that watched it for the first time knew what was going to happen. No one noticed that guy putting the thing up there.
That's why it became so. Yeah, that's why it became so classic.
No one expected it. It was like,
and it's also the way you watch. And the thing is, you watch that scene. What makes that scene so incredible as well? And you can keep watching it again and again without sort of I mean, you know what's happening, but it's still funny every time because it's acted so well as well, isn't it? I mean, you see David Jason, the actor, the way he just does it, it's just, it's amazing.
That was one take, I think.
I think it was the first. I think it was just the first take, and that was it. And and it's just the way
he turned around.
Yeah,
Trigger.
Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
The whole thing with that was Trigger wasn't actually meant to be in that episode. I think it was because he was filming something in the next studio, and they said, "Oh, could you come over for an hour?" He had a timeout or something in whatever he was shooting. So can you come over and just do this scene with David Jason? And they said, yeah, okay then. So yeah, he wasn't actually meant to be in that episode at all, but yeah, they did it just right and just in one take. It was amazing.
Perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's just one of those special moments, wasn't it? And encapsulated on film, thankfully. And it's just, like I said, you could see it 1,000 times, you're still going to laugh and chuckle because it's just done so well. It's just the way it's acted and the way it all comes together. Yeah, and there's another episode. Of course, you got the chandelier episode. All the classic those episodes are just so fun.
The chandelier.
Yeah,
of course. I couldn't believe it. I didn't expect it. Again, you didn't expect it.
Yeah, it's unexpected.
The one to come up from above and they'd fall with it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You don't expect that one. The one in the back to fall. What's all that about?
It's brilliant. It really is. So really well done. Really well done. But I must say, there's a couple of other episodes I really enjoyed that they were more. They tugged a bit more on the heartstrings, and oh yeah, look at that! Before we go to Plonker.
What a plonker!
Rodney, you dipstick. Yeah, there's a couple of episodes that sort of tugged a bit on the heartstrings as well that I really liked as well. One of them being that one where they were gonna. It's quite an early one, I think. When they were going to go to Australia. There was that whole deal where they was going to move to Australia, and in the end they couldn't go. And he wanted to go. Del Boy wanted to go, and he couldn't. He decided to stay with Rodney instead of going because Rodney couldn't go. Yeah,
he couldn't go because he had something with his record, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a criminal record, so he couldn't go to Australia.
Drugs, wasn't it?
Yeah, something to do with drugs.
He did it in college.
Work or uni, whatever.
And so it was that whole predicament of Shalika because he basically knew if he was going to go to Australia, he could get a whole new, better life because there was things going to be set up for him. He was offered a really good opportunity or something like that through one of those through an earlier friend or something like that. And it was like, okay, do I go to Australia or do I stay here and help Rodney? And he gave up his future, what could have been a bright future for himself to take care of Rodney. It was just such a.
He's really like it.
It's touching. Blood. It's basically blood thicker than water and all of that, And it was that family, keep family first and all that thing. And it was just a great theme at that time, I suppose, wasn't it? Because what the country was going through with Thatcherism and all of that. But and then another episode was I think it was originally supposed to be the last episode when they finally did it and sold they sold that watch. They found that little pocket watch or whatever it was.
Time in our hands,
That they found the pocket watch that was actually worth a fortune, and they ended up with 2 or 3 million each or whatever it was. And they finally did. They were finally millionaires. I thought it was just such a nice way. I know they didn't actually finish. I know they actually made 2 or 3 episodes afterwards, or specials to keep it going. But it was just such a lovely sentiment, wasn't it? They actually finished that throughout the whole series. This time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires. And it always just fluffs and flops and always problems all the way. But that time they actually did it. They finally found something that worked, and they did it. And it was just such a lovely way to finish, I thought. I mean, I remember really feeling sad and happy at the same time. Just such a great episode. But yeah, like Melvin said, unfortunately they kept it going, didn't they? They sort of ruined it a little bit. But
obviously in that episode as well, after you see their reaction, you see it £6.5 million they got between the £3.5 million each, plus a little bit for Albert and all that as well. Look after Albert. But obviously, then they're in that thick of outside the place still. They're literally the camera pans outside. It pans away from the van, and it's just shaking all over the place.
Yeah.
And obviously, then the first thing they go to is Boise, because obviously he's got his second-hand car dealership, and Boise being Boise, cocksure of himself. Oh, you got fuck all basically still. And Rodney just goes in because obviously Del Boy got designed the Rolls Royce. And obviously, Roddy goes in, goes with the letter, proof of obviously how much they've got. Bang! I want to buy that. I want to buy it. And he bought. And he told, and again, that little pull at heartstring, because obviously when he goes back to Del and says, "There you go. There's the keys." It's like, you got this Rolls Royce to me. Why? Just as a thank you for all the things you've done for me over the years. And it's just again that little bit of pull at heartstrings, that moment of appreciation that someone does. No matter all the fights you've had throughout the years, he does appreciate what you've done for him as a whole.
Yeah.
And
then the bit that did it for me in that episode, it was when they walked into the bar.
The very next scene.
And they all clapped him. That's what did it for me.
Literally, the very next scene, they pull up outside the next head.
That should have been it.
The place goes quiet, and they're thinking, and they're all Del Boy and Rodney and Cassandra and Raquel are like a bit on edge, like what's coming. And the first person, obviously Denzel, stands up, and it's like they just start clapping. And again, because again, you just said that journey from the first episode till then of this time that she'll be millionaires, and they finally did it. And there wasn't no bitterness between no jealousy. No jealousy, no bitterness. They were these people that they've grown up with.
They were proper people with proper friends.
Because they all helped each other, right? I mean, there were so many situations where they all helped each other throughout, wasn't there? They were a group, weren't they? They were basically all in the same community.
They all went to school with each other as well.
They went to school. They knew each other since they were kids, and in the same community, and they all helped each other, didn't they? They just helped. It was just that whole sense of being together, and when they finally did it. It was a sense of admiration, wasn't it? That's what it was, and it was just so, like Russ says, it was a fantastic moment, wasn't it?
Like Stan says, that line. Now brace yourself, Rodney. That will be forever, ever in history books. That one, won't it? That is the most amazing line. Brace yourself, fantastic.
Oh dear,
fantastic. The one, I'll tell you something. There's so many of them, but I like looking at the ones that basically not the main ones. I mean, everyone loves the one with Batman running.
Oh heroes and villains. Yeah,
I didn't think it was that. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was that funny. I thought it was much funnier things that come out. Which is the one that I was thinking about. There was you mentioned the one about. Oh yeah, for some reason. Do you remember when they looked after Marlene and Boise's dog?
Boise's dog,
Duke, yeah.
Oh
Dukey.
My God! They gave him the wrong pills or something.
So they took him to the vet.
They had all these food. Boise and Marlene left the dog with all these rump steaks, beautiful. And they had them themselves.
They ate them,
No dog food, basically.
Why the dog didn't have the energy, and Uncle was ill, not well. I don't know if you remember what happened, but as it happened, they mixed up the pills. Gave the dog
Albert sleeping pills.
And they gave the dog pills to the Uncle Albert. And the funniest thing was when they suddenly go into hospital because he's in a mess. The uncle, he's not very well. They suddenly realise what's gone on, and they look at him and they go, "We should better." And they went, come on, boy, like that.
Come on, boy.
And that was a fantastic line. Just they realised he was in the dog film. Because he didn't know what they're talking about. Oh, dear.
Literally, he's like, the fuck are you not on? Oh dear. But Stan in the big up Stan, he's saying I used to drink in the booze at Finsbury Park when Mickey Pearce ran. The guy that plays Mickey Pearce.
Really?
Mickey Pearce, what a character he was, eh? What another character,
Yeah, I mean, who needs friends who've got people like that, eh? That constantly fucking
friends. So that was a question I was going to ask was, who, out of all the peripheral characters, not the main, not the main trio, but you look through all the characters basically, and it can even be like cameo roles and stuff like that throughout the whole series. Who are your favourite characters in the peripheral? I mean, there's quite a few there.
My one was Trigger.
Trigger,
yeah.
You knew something stupid could happen if when he's about.
Trigger was
you knew
great.
You were scratching your head. How did he say that?
Yeah.
You knew that was going to happen.
It's like, how does that guy even? Like, I mean, how does he even live? I mean, how does he manage to do anything? That guy he was just so thick, wasn't he?
What about when his boss, the woman, fancied him at work and she suggested a long weekend away? And then he comes in, he goes to the bar and he goes, "My boss ain't talking to me no more." He goes, "Well, what, didn't you go the weekend away?" He goes, "Yeah." So what was she upset about? She wanted me to take her with her.
But yeah, again, I think for me, a standout, obviously, as Melvin says, is Trigger, because you always knew something was around the corner with Trigger. No matter what, he'd say or do something so out there that it would just be only Trigger could do it, and no other character could sort of do that, pull that off. I mean, I'm trying to think now. Also, what is it? Obviously, when they introduced the barman, Mike, always getting.
Yeah, he was a funny character.
Yeah, always getting, and also always getting, no matter what, always brought into whatever Del Boy was bringing to the table, basically.
Yeah, always got suckered in. Always got suckered in for a deal, didn't he? Del Boy always managed to get him on the hook. Yeah, always.
And, whether it was a doorbell or whatever. Yeah.
The doorbell that fucking has every national anthem.
Every national anthem on, yeah.
All the different crap he sold as well, honestly, yeah. But yeah, in terms of characters, for me,
sold Mike also at one episode. I think it's the one episode we talked about before about the miscarriage and all that. Yeah. He sold Mike a hair. He's like, "Here's a hair drop. I don't need hair. Look, I've got no hair." I just I'll take it off here. Turned out it was an electric paint remover thing, and he got into hospital with fucking half third-degree burns on him. And obviously, Stein says Monkey Harris, the character we never actually saw.
You never saw him, no. He's always at the end of the phone, like, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did you see what that was the thing about in Bristol where it was filmed, a lot of it?
Yeah, because they had to move. At some point, they had to move because I realised that, knew that in the last few years because obviously they did documentaries, not looking back, and basically initially it was all filmed in London, in the flats and all that, but people started realising where it's been filmed and turning up, and basically for security reasons they just moved certain bits up to Bristol, and things like that. But yeah.
I must say there's a few good characters. Well, I mean, like you guys say, I mean, Boise was also a great character. Because he was just like he just really was the odd one out for me. He was like he didn't really fit in because he was actually successful. He was actually successful. So like why he kept
hanging
around
with all them, like,
I think it was just basically because he was such a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go out anywhere and like spend more money, and he just wanted to keep with them and sort of have his mates.
Yeah, he was quite happy to lord it over them, wasn't he, as well? He knew he was the top dog out of there, like
big fish in a little pond.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. He wanted to be the big I am, the big guy, the big local hero.
Yeah, nice big house and everything else. Yeah.
Who remembers the episode where obviously Marnie disappears off the face of the earth, and they all think he's Halloween, and suddenly then they realise Denzel's disappeared, so they think they've run off together.
They've
They've eloped, and it's like no, Denzel's gone to see the family or something, or he's in hospital, and basically it turned out Marnie was recovering from surgery, so we say, and the one line from from Rodney, it was like, should we call Twickenham and see if they need their balls back? Got a couple of balls missing.
And what about that time? What about the time when Del Boy and Boise they played poker, and Del Boy did him right at the end?
Yeah, did him at the end.
Cheating. They were both cheating
the whole
at the
game.
end.
But even though Boise was cheating the whole time.
Yeah, Del Boy managed to do him over right at the end.
That's one of the cards I dealt with.
Literally, as you said, I knew you were cheating, Boise. How did you know that? Because that wasn't the hand I dealt you. Looked at it.
And then right at the end, he says, "Always give a chance to give you your money back. Heads or tails is a double-headed coin, when
Yeah.
Double-headed, yeah.
Yeah. Give you a chance to win a couple hundred back and all that. And the thing is, Rodney knew it was a double-headed coin, but he goes, Rodney will call it. No, you've the Lux Banter about it. No, Rodney will call it. Okay. Tails. And he just looked at him, and he realised, it's like, oh my.
Anyway, guys, I just got to go to the toilet. I've got to go and get something. I'll be back in a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, no worries. That's fine. No
worries. I was just saying, it was like Jolly Boys Outing for me is one of the best ones because it had everybody. Everybody was actually in that one, weren't they?
Yeah, all the characters, all in one.
All the characters, and they didn't like shy away from it. Everybody had a part to play in that episode, obviously, because you had the Trotters, you had Denzel, Boise, Marlene, Trigger, Jevon and Mickey Pierce, and like Cassandra's dad. And all those, everybody was in that one, and that was when they go into the old fairground and they have when they're on their rides and everything else and all that, and Del Boy's laughing at them because they'll come off and they all feel sick. He's laughing at him and saying, "You want an ice cream?" And but yeah, I think that is probably my favourite one because everybody was in it.
But when you were watching it over the years, you felt like you were part of the actual program. You're so far into it, so believable. You love the character so much that you were basically it's all around you. It wasn't you looking at television. You were part of it. It's
just amazing when a coach blows up. You're just like, oh, for God's sake, because he's already been taken to the police station, hasn't he, Rodney had, and he's on the phone, and the coach blows up, and I don't believe it.
And the camera pans to all the characters, and Del Boy puts his arm around the driver and goes, "Don't worry, Harry, I won't tell your governor."
I won't tell you, governor.
Oh dear! And what is it? Max was about characters, the Driscoll brothers.
Driscoll brothers, yeah.
They weren't.
Were they the criminal ones? The ones that were
the criminals, yeah.
They're the Cray brothers, weren't they?
Yeah, basically, they basically were the TV's version of the Cray brothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though one was really tall and one was really short, it was.
That's right.
But yeah, because they were only in a couple of episodes, weren't they? But they used to, they gave Del a beating, didn't they? In one of them, when Rodney's wedding, wasn't it?
The day before his wedding.
I've just remembered one that I'm sitting there, and I didn't know what to expect. Just thought something was going to happen at some stage, and when it did, again, it was like genius. Crying. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah. Just for
you didn't expect him to sing like that.
And then
he was trying to go crying, and he couldn't get his arms out, and she was.
Yeah. Oh. And again, it's a build-up though, because obviously, and the writing again for that. Again, it shows how good the writing was as a whole. Because again, just before that moment, there's that build-up of, because obviously Del Boy weren't at the rehearsals, and Rodney and Raquel talking back and forth like, I don't want to. Raquel's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Why not? Well, you were there this morning. Tony's got a problem. So you're waiting for it. You don't know what it is. But you're waiting. Yeah, Tony Angelino.
You don't know. You ain't got a clue.
You're waiting, and suddenly,
Tony Angelino.
Just as it gets,
it took his wig off. He took his wig off from his trousers,
heels off,
high heels. Oh, it was like he wasn't the same guy who was on the stage.
No, and
totally different.
And the second he goes, quiet.
That's exactly that bit there. That was it for me. It was like, oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And again, from Del's face being smug as fuck, I think he's pulled off something.
Cigar coming out, going to Lardy, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my, because he's got the gangster behind him. He's going to do it because
it was funny, like, did you say you would never recognise him if you walked past him in the street, would you?
No,
because he had all the fake tan and the hair and everything else.
The wig, and his trousers.
Del Boy's reaction was obviously Tony turns up the flat later on near the end. It's like, why didn't you change the fucking lyrics? If you change the lyrics all the time, why don't you? How can I change the lyrics to crying? The bloody song's called Crying.
That's it.
Oh dear. Oh, what is it? Again,
you can't really. You should have changed the song, not just the one word.
Yeah, just change the song. Just sing a different song, wouldn't it? It would have been easy. I was like, there's one I've just thought of. Do you remember the one when Rodney was? He met that really posh girl, and they went to stay at the family house for the weekend.
Royal Flush. That's it.
Yeah, because Rodney went to stay there, and then Del turns up with Eddie, and they're all on the shooting in the field, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he gets a gun, and bang, bang, bang. He goes, "I'll be all right when I get my eye in."
Rodney knows he's not got a chance. Once he turns up, it's over.
Exactly, yeah.
It's over.
And what was it? And again, Stan goes back to one of the early episodes when Rodney was being called by Del Boy, who had his little gag, made his little story up for a joke, calling Rodney the Peckham Pouncer, because obviously the night before he bumped into the local nutter, who she was from the lunacy house, basically. And
she cried rape or something.
She called Rodney because Rodney didn't know who she was. He's panicked and obviously gone home.
Oh my god!
Shock-stricken and all that. And as soon as Del Boy knew, he's telling Rodney, actually, no, this person, no one takes notice of her.
Don't worry about it.
No one takes any notice of her.
He just goes he goes full on wind up and goes, there's mobs outside the pub saying, lynch him. The case of the Peckham Pouncer. Who called me that? They did outside the pub. I didn't realise it until just mentioned it. And he got to a point where obviously he disappeared. I'm running away. He got upstairs into the waterworks, like
he could smell something, couldn't he?
Yeah, the marijuana.
They'll smell the drugs.
Yeah, the funny fag, because they called it back then.
Funny fags, yeah.
Jamaican Old Holborn, wasn't it?
Yeah. But that whole episode. And again, Rodney has the last laugh in that the last closing scene where
because he's been drinking or something from the coffee or something.
He's been drinking water out of the water tank, and obviously Rodney's, you can have a nice shower when you get downstairs because he's saying, "I stink." No. I don't think I don't want to stand under that water after what I've been doing in the last couple of nights. And suddenly you realise the water's yellow. And he's like, oh my days! It's just again brilliant, and also again Stan brings up again
the Peckham Spring.
The Peckham Spring.
Oh, it was the water they were making, wasn't it?
That was funny. Yeah, it's just tap water, wasn't it?
They're putting the old labels on.
And basically got to a point where the local council was calling for a drought because literally the Thames was going to be empty.
Yeah, because they were putting it into bottles. Yeah.
Oh dear! And why they bloody park? Because it's fucking tap water and all that malarkey.
What about the one?
Because Trigger put all the toxic waste in the thing, didn't they?
In the Thames,
the water was turning yellow right at the end.
Whenever the lights went off.
There's one I remember. I don't remember what its whole thing was about, but the last scene, what it was that Boise has found a dodgy satellite dish. Anyway, he put it out.
The airplane.
And the last scene, you got the bloody planes coming towards him. He nicked it from near Gatwick, and he nicked the airport. So funny. So clever as well. They were ducking. The planes were going over.
Yeah. Oh my days! And also, what was it? The painting competition. Max in the chat. Big up yourself. The painting competition where obviously Del Boy been in all these different competitions.
Under 16s, yeah.
And literally, this one was for a cornflakes competition for.
For kids though, wasn't it?
Yeah, for kids. But basically, it was famous painting of famous landmarks. And Del Boy came across one of Rodney's ones.
Rodney's paintings,
when he's like 14 and a half, and Rodney decided Rodney Trotter at age 14 and a half. But he's just sent it off, and obviously he's won. But not Rodney not knowing that actually, under 14, the under 15 category.
Yeah, it's like Cassandra had to go as Del Boy's wife.
The common law stepmother.
Spain, was it Spain or something they had to go to?
Yeah, Spain,
yeah. And basically, has to suppose the whole week as his common law stepmother and things like that. And from the second. Obviously, the organisers realised Rodney obviously wasn't faulting. They questioned him every turn, and because Del obviously knew all along what the deal was, he'd forged Rodney's passport, the Danish passport, and things like that. And it's just like, it comes full circle in the end. The karma of it all comes full circle. So he's bought 3 lottery tickets for him, Cassandra, and Rodney, and Rodney's one came in and they'd won $1 million potatoes.
Yes. So about 10.
They couldn't.
They can't win it. You can't claim it.
Couldn't claim it because obviously Rodney was in his class as far as they're concerned.
Underage, yeah.
But but Rodney's reaction first found out like, how the fuck am I meant to pass as a 14-year-old? And the other was like, well, look at all them lads over there. They're about 6 foot. You got your youthful good looks to help you out. Like,
what you guys been talking about since I left?
What was it? Peckham Spring. A few of the episodes, Peckham Spring. This the one of the Menorca, the painting competition we were just touching on now. There's just a few ones that people have been talking about in the chat. What was the other one Stan mentioned?
Satellite dish on the roof from Gatwick.
Oh yeah. Gatwick. There became like the beacon for the runway at Heathrow and a jumbo jet at the end.
They've been called the Peck and Pouncer as well from Del Boy in a wind-up thing. Mad Blacks is saying, do you remember Rodney doing adverts for W.H. Smith's as well?
What's that?
Well, apparently, the guy that plays Rodney did adverts as Rodney for W.H. Smith's.
I don't remember that.
Must be in the early years for me. Mark's also saying in the chat, England are winning 2-0. Well, hey, doesn't mean anything. We ain't
friendly though, isn't it?
It's it's a glorified friendly. It's a Nations League thing, but we can't qualify now because we lost on Saturday or whatever it was. Because we lost to Belgium, and Belgium are now qualified, so it's pointless anyway. That's why I'm doing this tonight. Save the misery. The thing is, I did a watch along last night for the under-21s game. I enjoyed that more than I've watched any Southgate game in not 3 years.
Yeah, because under-21s can play, can't they? Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking about. Oh, sorry, right.
No, sorry, I was just saying, Brownie's in the chat just joined us. He's saying the barman that when Del Boy falls over used to be his next door neighbour, apparently. Yeah, go on, Sam, you're saying?
I'm thinking another good thing we can try and talk about is all the different crap they try to sell. Remember all the different stuff they tried to flog?
Briefcases that you couldn't open.
Briefcases you couldn't open, and there was those radios. There's those radios that did something, and
video cassettes, wrong region.
Wrong region, and there was, of course, those dolls, that blew up basically, and.
Wigs. What about the wigs? Loads of
The
wigs.
wigs that with the hair fill out anyway. But what was it? And also in that, going back to that Sandalera episode, he brought 30 cats that sung. How much is that doggy in the window? and the thing is, from off, Rodney and Grandad are like, you wasted your money. What are you doing? Who wants to buy a thing of a cat singing how much is that doggy in the window? Oh dear. The dolls that sung Spanish as well. Yeah, don't forget about that.
I'm trying to think of some.
Quite a few.
What about he bought some paint, cheap paint?
Oh yeah, the
restaurant.
Chinese
restaurant. Yeah, another Chinese became for restaurant.
British Rail or something they nicked it from.
Yeah.
It was all luminous.
Trigger nicked it.
What was the one where they were painting Denzel's kitchen or whatever, painting his flat?
Oh, Pretty Bird. Who's the Pretty Bird?
That's Canary.
Bird died, didn't it? But then they bought another one. It was a wrong boy's a male and it was a female or something, wasn't
it? No, basically, the bird had died. The bird had died before they'd even got there.
Yeah.
No one, Denzel and his wife hadn't gone off, hadn't actually said the bird had died, so they'd assumed by the fumes of the kettle and all that the bird had just suffocated basically and died. So they're fucking like, oh shit, we're fucking do that, and we've done this. So they spent half the day chasing around, and sent out Grandad to go and get a new canary. Has to be a canary. Got to be a canary. Goes to the pet shop, meets this guy, obviously the owner and all that. I've got one kit. They're obviously trying to tell me other birds. Like, I've got one canary. It's my pet, and I'll give you £45. Done. That's it. Fuck off. And then it turns out he went back to tell Del Boy that it's 50 quid. So he kept himself a private back and things like that. And when Del found out, like, 50? You said, what did I say? That you said that, don't worry. And it's like, and again, Del Boy had the last eye because him and Brendan, the Irish guy, had this little beef because obviously the Irish guy had him over by sending him the paint they're using to do up Denzel's place. It was the paint that he'd done him over with. So basically, in the end, because obviously he was about to leave, he was about to do up the pub, basically get the contract to do the pub and all that, redecorate it. And Del Boy just said, had a word in Mike's ear and said, I can get this done to the same standard as Brendan, and it'll cost you an extra £1,000. What? And he's asking, why would I accept that? And he goes into it, well, £500 from me, £500 for you. And he goes, and then Mike pops up, But what about the other 1,000? We'll give that to the Irishman and let him do the job. We've got a deal. It's just like them the little victories they took there as well. I mean, going back to the first episode we saw Slater in, and the stolen microwaves, who nicked the microwave off the back of the lorry and things like that. And again, that had the last bit of victory. Knowing, again, even though it's someone as I alluded to earlier, that one character no one likes, who's to come and this, that, and the other. And just in case, I think he's won. And he's got Del Boy where he wants him. It
looked like he was going to lose Del Boy, didn't it?
Yeah.
It looked like he was going to lose.
Yeah, again, fantastic writing, because right at that last second, he says, after signing all the paperwork and
but let's get that right. I've got immunity.
Yeah, 3 times we are. Yes, you got less chance of a pull than the Queen. I know. So for the third and final time, who nicked the microwave at the back of the lorry? And he's just like, takes a deep breath, picks up the paperwork and goes, mate, I did. And the face goes from Slater goes, because he can't do nothing now. That's it, because he's got that paperwork, he can't do nothing.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Stan the man in the chat, I see he mentions a great episode as well at the bottom there. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. It's another great episode.
When obviously Denzel's just been
was he on roller skates or something? Someone went on roller skates and went high five or something. Yeah.
I've got your they've just got the butterfly, and like he got, because obviously Del Boy took his money off him, his redundancy money, and he sent his brothers to go and get it back basically. So they've gone, and whilst they're out at the mother's graveyard, this rare butterfly that Roddy's been reading about pops up out of nowhere suddenly, and then they're chasing for the next 10 minutes. They're chasing around the whole area trying to get this butterfly. They finally get it, and he goes, "Denzel, I've got your money." He's like, "Fantastic, Del Boy. See you down the pub later." Bang, and literally, Del Boy's face is like, and then Rodney goes. After Rodney asks, like, "He didn't do that." No. What a Kim Plonker you are! What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now? And he just goes, right, and he's like the Lalby doors, because the Lalby doors, wasn't it? The Lalby doors. But who wants these absolutely fantastic mint condition? Money wouldn't buy cheapest chips, Lalby doors, because obviously now got to sell them doors definitely to make the money back, because obviously he's just told. It's like, so he has them moments, yeah.
Again, that's that writing. That's that John Sullivan, the John Sullivan genius, isn't it? Behind it all.
Yeah, and even those episodes, obviously, even after it ended, he was still writing things about what he wanted to, because there's always a chance of doing what he wanted to do, and that the one-off special for like Del Boy's 60th and things like that, the character's 60th birthday and things like that. But obviously, the last 10-minute special they did with David Beckham was written by John Sullivan before he passed away.
Yeah,
and things like that, and even the musical, obviously. John Sullivan wrote all that. He wrote that down, everything about that.
I haven't seen that musical.
It was very good. The guy
my dad's seen it. My dad said it was very good. I haven't seen it, but my dad
thought it would be good. But my friend, he goes, you know what? It's really, really good.
And even lots of David Chase and Nicholas and John, who plays Boise and things like that. All the characters, the original actors, they've all praised it as well. They absolutely love it. But again, he saw things in a different aspect, and he has had all these different plans for this one show. And again, see how well received it's been with things like that. It shows how good he was, and still is. None of this would have been done if it weren't for one of his sons coming across all the paperwork when they're clearing things out in his loft.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, apparently that's.
Well, he forgot about it. Well, he wrote about it, forgot about it.
But no, I think he wrote about it, and basically, obviously, passing away when he did so. He was his own.
Right. Gotcha.
Because the passing away was something expected, wasn't it? It was only when after a year or two afterwards, and they sort of go through things after grieving, that they came across all these scripts and different scripts and all that. And it says it all about him himself as a writer. The characters now are saying, even though the stuff's there, they won't do it out of respect to him, because he's not here to see it being played out in the way it should be.
Yeah. But I mean, even you're talking about the peripheral characters. Even the uncle, he had a great line, and he was talking about obviously the war. He goes, "Yeah, I was stationed in Germany. I met this woman, German woman.
German woman,
She was terrific. I fell in love with her. She had a finger missing. Really? Yeah. But I didn't care. He goes, I want to marry her. I asked her to marry me. And every time I hear the word 9, it makes me sad. They go, what? Because she turned you down, 9? He goes, no, she had 9 fingers.
9 fingers.
I mean,
that was kind of like old Uncle Albert, because obviously, like when Grandad died, didn't they? That was when he turned up. He turned up at the funeral, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
he turns up, and obviously the rest of the family was there. Well, all their family, Trotters side, and because obviously I can't remember, was it his cousin or something that Uncle Albert was living with? They were living in a caravan or something, weren't he? But Uncle Albert fell asleep, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when they went to drive him back, he moved.
And then it turned out in that episode that obviously everyone in the family had gone to stay it for a bit and help out. So suddenly they'd lose the plot or something.
Suddenly move away. They'd send him out and move away. Yeah.
Should we Stan the Man's asked us a question there? Two actors. One of them was Jim Broadbent, wasn't it? Like you said,
Jim
Russ,
Broadbent,
wasn't
it?
Oh, was he?
Yeah. I don't know the other
I can't remember the other one though.
That's what I think. And also Del Boy. David Cheshire only got the role apparently because obviously the role he had played with in Open All Hours with Ronnie Barker.
Granville.
Yeah, Ronnie Barker with Open All Hours. When the people that have seen him in that role, they thought he was the perfect person to play Del Boy. It was only then when they decided it. So I don't know who the second one was though. Stan, did anyone else know who the second one was?
No, all I know is Jim Broadbent was offered to play it, but obviously he couldn't, so that's why he came back as Slater in a couple of episodes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not quite sure who that second one was, but yeah, it's normally the way it goes, isn't it?
It would have been a completely different program if Jim Broadbent had been Del Trotter.
It's the same in many movies as well. You know, a lot of the iconic roles we know from movies as well are. I mean, originally was supposed to be cast by completely different actors.
There you go.
Who was in Rydell? What was he in?
No idea.
Never heard of that person.
I've got to look him up.
The reason you haven't heard of him is because he didn't play Del Trotter.
Exactly. Another thing, though, surely.
And Rydell, let's have a look. Oh, it's him. You'll recognise him when you see him.
Do you want to share the screen,
I'll put him up.
And Rydell, Scottish actor, known for mainly voiceover work at the moment, it seems like. Let's have a look at his IMDb page. Let's see. Wow. Go back. Let's go back.
I don't recognise him.
He's only had minor roles.
Yeah, I do recognise him now.
He's only had minor roles, hasn't he? I mean, he hasn't really been in anything big, I don't think.
No, I don't. The name doesn't ring a bell to me. So
he's had minor roles, like a few episodes here and there, and a few things, but he's not really had like a lead.
Why we don't
lead
recognise him? I think he was in The Invisible Man.
Yeah, but it says here like he had a few. He was in Round the Bend. Apparently, he's done a lot of voicing in Spitting Image.
With all due respect, I mean, he might be the best actor this side of the Mississippi. It wouldn't have been the same if he took the main slot.
No, exactly. Mad Max in the chat's also asking us: do we like Rock and Chips? Obviously, the spin-off.
I must say, I didn't like it. I didn't see
it. What's Rock and who was in that? What characters were in that?
That was the prequel, basically.
When they were young.
The story before, obviously, what we became.
I don't like all that type of stuff.
It's basically like the one that plays Linda in EastEnders. She played the Del Boy's mum and all that.
Right.
Oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. But basically, the one that used to be in between the one that played Jay. He played young Del Boy and things like that. It was like, but it's basically all that. It's basically the build up to basically all it was basically 2 series of them explaining the story of how Rodney became, but was conceived basically, why Del Boy, the mum had cheated with this Freddie Robdell and things like that. That was all it was basically.
Are we bothered? As I say.
Did anyone watch the Green Grass?
Oh, I did actually. So like that.
I didn't mind that. I thought that was I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, I think again, due to obviously John's passing, that would have gone a bit longer. There was plans to bring in Del Boy and Rodney as cameo because they'll bring it every now and then. The old characters come back up in that show for the old episode here and there. And again, I did like that. That's the one of the out of the 2, that and Rock and Chips. That's the one that I really liked because it was up to date. It started off where it sort of ended, so to speak, in the sense of in Peckham, and then there's that straight away where obviously Dick Boyce's done the ultimate stupid thing and obviously pissed off the Driscoll brothers. And the Driscoll brothers was about to come out.
The Driscoll brothers, the Driscoll brothers.
and they knew that he'd been the Supergrass and all that. They're coming after him, so he shut himself and gone off to Shropshire.
And that was two funny characters as well. The Driscoll brothers. One was a big tall guy. The other one was a tiny little guy. They're like little and large, weren't they? Like Laurel and Hardy, basically. See you later, Stan. Thanks for popping by.
Cheers for that, Stan.
Cheers, Stan. You well, mate.
Take care, Stan.
Mark in the chat is also.
You're talking about it being serious and about his true love for his brother and all that. The one where he got married and he said goodbye to him. That was quite emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But again, that showed that other side to Del Boy that you never really saw on a predominant basis. That again, because obviously he spent most of his life and looking after his brother, bringing him up and all that. That side of what do I do now? Because obviously he's the next part of his life. I'm not going to be a major part of in that sense. He's got a wife now. They're going to move off and So it's the aftermath thing. And obviously, we weren't to know obviously that fucking Cassandra and Roddy constantly be breaking up and he constantly moving back and forth between their flat and fucking Del Boy's.
Funniest bit for me is when he did get married, he came back home, didn't he? He came back to the flat, didn't he?
Oh yeah, it's right.
And he goes, he goes, Rodney,
you don't leave
here no more.
Yeah.
Again, fantastic writing and the acting as well, like because it looks like he's taking his time to click into gear, and when he realizes, she's gonna fucking kill me. See you, Del. Sorry.
When he first met Cassandra, it was at school or so, it was college or something, wasn't it?
Evening
was that college? Was that college?
And they got similar coats. She got Rodney's coat by mistake and his name in it, like his
name tag.
It's funny as well.
It's just that.
And it was only in there because Del Boy done it for a laugh, basically.
For his name tagging it because he's going to school, wasn't he? To make sure he keeps his own clothes. I mean that episode is talking about where he gets married, and it's that last scene there when at the end of I think it's at the end of the wedding reception or whatever it is, and he's all by himself. Del Boy's all by himself. Everyone's gone, and it's that you could just see it really gets to him that he realizes now he's going to be by himself basically. It doesn't turn out that way, of course, as we know, but at that time it was like, okay, Rodney's finally got married, he's grown up, he's moving out, it was like you said, it's another one of those moments that really tugged at the heartstrings, and that was so amazing with the series was it was funny, really funny, entertaining, but at the same time, it could be really emotional, couldn't it? I mean, you really felt for these guys. Again, that's testament to the writing, the acting, the characters. You could just really feel these guys' lives, couldn't you? I mean, you really felt like what it was like to be Del Boy or what it was like to be Rodney, and you just really in those situations. I remember feeling really sad at that moment watching that.
Did you get upset, gentlemen, when he lost money? I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to win.
I wanted to win. because you knew he never did. You just knew, no matter how well it looked like it was going, no matter how well the plan seemed to be conceived, you just knew it was never going to end well. It never, ever ended well, you know? And it was just that, oh, God, you bloody do it for once, you know?
And also, he was a drifter, but he got done a couple of times as well, which I didn't like. Do you remember that time where he went to an Indian restaurant and they had
I was going to talk about
that one. Two families.
Yeah, the two families.
And they were both in on it at the end of it, weren't they? They've been doing the same scam up and down the country,
Yeah. That's they're in the Jag together, driving away, laughing. I mean, that, to me, I didn't enjoy that, to be honest with you. I got a bit upset that he'd been done.
Yeah.
I like the one where they were doing the mystery tours, but they never actually went anywhere because no one turned up.
And it turned up, the reason they don't turned up because he sent Grandad out with his leaflets to post, and he just went downstairs and put them in the bin. and when he gets found out, he's like, "Sorry, Del boy, my brain." It's like, "I'll give you your brain. I don't want to get my hands on you." And Roddy's like, "Leave him alone. He's old."
Yeah.
This was like the one where Albert fell down the thing in the pub.
The pub's got
manhole covers as well. All that,
and then it took him to court, and it found out that he'd actually been to court about 20 times, hadn't he, for the same thing?
The same Albert? And the same Albert?
Every pub in London, he'd fallen down into the bit where they kept all the beer.
Exactly.
But again, a bit of a portly heartstrings in the aftermath because they're asking, "Why the fuck did you do this? Why did you put us through this?" Knowing that this could happen. I just wanted to help you out. After everything you've done for me, I wanted to sort of help you get a headstone for my brother's graveyard, like for his grave. You did all this for your brother. Like, again, it goes back to the family thing. Like, more than anything else, the family came first. More than anything, they'd do whatever they could to bend over backwards for each other. And let's go into the chat. Mark saying I love the transition from being emotional to being comedy. The scripting was incredible. And that's what you said. And I think even today, that if the show kept going and going and going, it'd still be the same. It'd be and obviously, if John was still alive, you'd still have that. Even now, it wouldn't be outdated. It'd still feel as fresh and as new as it did back then. It wouldn't feel outdated or nothing like that. It's just brilliant. We don't have anything. We've never had anything like it since, even in between it all. That shows how the genius of what John wanted and the But not just.
But then again, comedy's moved on, hasn't it? It's gone from sort of the family situation comedy. It's moved on into different ways, hasn't it? Because you've got like Peep's Show, you've got like Alan Partridge, all those sorts of comedy programs. You don't get the comedy sitcom, nothing like that, in my opinion, anyway.
But also,
sitcom's gone a bit.
So all the series, I think it can be shown today and not worry about upsetting anybody. Like everything's a bit, walking on cracks, walking on, what's that expression? Walking on eggshells.
Walking on eggshells.
It didn't actually. It was PR before PR became the right thing to do anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it was like you say. Like you say, I don't think there was many instances, not that I can think of right now, where they got close to that edge. I mean, back then there was back then no one thought about that anyway, because that was the whole. People understood that this is just
that's what's so surprising.
You don't take this seriously.
They could be funny without going there.
Exactly, before people realise you don't take this seriously. This is a television program. This is a comedy. You don't take this seriously. But nowadays, people don't. I don't want to get into all that discussion. But people nowadays don't realise that what's on telly isn't real, so they take offence to it. So,
but that's also the thing, is it's a product of its time as well. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
You could look at it. You have to look at it in the context that it was actually made, and you have to separate that from what's going on in today's world.
But lucky enough, what went on in the series and what was said from the top of my head, anyway, I don't think there was anything there that was really controversial if you played it again today. But another series, not that we're going to talk about this other series, but another series I have been looking a little bit online that I still love and I laugh at, that you could definitely never play today, and that is In Sickness and in Health, with Alf Gardner. Oh my God! You could never ever play that today.
No.
Well, I watched the thing, the pre whatever they call it, or that called "Till Death Us Do Part."
Yeah,
That was over the boundary. I mean, that was ridiculous. You couldn't even, you couldn't. It would last 2 minutes. It was very, very
some of those 70s comedies were actually because you won't be able to show it this time because it would just cause offence to pretty much everyone.
I mean, it really did. He was calling people names that you think. Well,
but back in those days, that was the whole. It was a product of its time.
That's what I'm saying. That it was okay. No one said anything. No one even thought about it. It made people laugh, and no one was, bothered. I mean, that was in the
back then. It was comedy. Back then, that was comedy, wasn't it? People laughed at that back then, wasn't it? So yeah.
Oh God! St. John's just saying they love thy neighbour as well. Oh my God!
Oh my God! That was basically two sides coming against each other, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So that was basically it. There was some very funny lines in it as well.
But also,
sorry. Go ahead.
I was just like, we give we give John all this praise for the writing, but we've got to give praise to the actors as well for. Over the years, it's just consistent.
Well, actors amaze me so much, as you can see how incredible they are. Like David Jason, the way he plays the role of Del Boy, the way he got into. I mean, it's all the mannerisms. It's the mannerisms and the cockiness and the self-assuredness and the. It's the way he plays him physically as well. That's so amazing.
The old moving the shoulder.
All the movement and that's all part of his character. You know what I mean? It's all part of it, and it's played so brilliantly. That is just as much of his character as what he says, and it's just so brilliantly played, isn't it, by David Jason? I mean, David Jason's a fantastic actor, and the way he plays that. I mean, he's been brilliant since then in like Frost and other things like that.
He's not just a comedy actor. He can do anything, can't he?
Yeah, he's just such a fantastic actor. And another one that I really liked as well, of course, who played Uncle Albert, Buster Merrifield, who played Uncle Albert. Not that much, I don't think.
Grandfather. What did he do? Was he in anything before?
There was a Leonard Pierce who played grandfather.
Neither of them did very much prior.
I don't think both of them really did anything spectacular before that series. No, I don't think so. I think they were pulled out of like theatre and also they've done like minor TV shows or things like that. I don't think they've done anything major. But Buster Merrifield, I remember he was just such a good actor as that Uncle Albert. Again, the mannerisms and with his head and but the thing that really got me with him was amazing. It was I was young then when I first started watching Only Fools and Horses with Buster Merrifield. And I remember I was so fascinated when I saw one of the first interviews with the cast on television when they weren't in the role. And I remember being so fascinated by it. Buster Merrifield was actually a really posh guy. He was like, oh yes, it's a great series. And John Sullivan is a great writer. And yes, David Jason, what a guy to work with.
It's like
he was
Marlene
really
as well.
Posh,
Marlene, you
really
think
posh.
Yeah.
And then you see him in his role, Cockney. During the war, it's just so brilliant.
Yeah. As I say, it was like Marlene. Marlene sounds completely different in real life. She doesn't sound anything like what she does in the show. She sounds really quite posh. But
what about there's one episode where obviously Del Boy talked about this girl he got with when she was in a betting shop and this, that and the other. They're talking, and later on in the episode it turns out this girl he'd been knocking about with was Marlene. And obviously she'd been off for Boise because obviously Boise had walked into that betting shop. And when they were sitting around the pub table, literally, and Boise's like, I wish I'd never walked into that betting shop down Lewisham Grove or whatever it was. And they'll literally, straight away, Del Boy, Del, Mike, Denzel all clocked on, and they're like, don't say nothing. And literally, as they're doing that, Trigger's about to put everyone in the shit, basically. And Denzel's like, Trigger! I was about to tell you something, but I forgot. Oh, don't worry, Denzel, it happens to me all the time. Then goes, you know what? I was about to say something. Again, it's that literal, the little bits of the little gems out of nowhere we don't expect it to come, but only the character of Trigger will put it off. And that, again, that's fantastic acting from Roger.
Do you remember that episode where they were? That's all right, mate. Sorry. Yeah. Do you remember that episode when Del Boy was seeing this girl that he hadn't seen for a long time, and her daughter was seeing Rodney.
Oh,
and and Del Boy thought that it was his daughter.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So you had to break him up just to say.
Literally, every soon he's telling everyone this story. Like, she could be my daughter, but she's a pretty girl. And he's like, of course she is. Look, she has mum. And Rodney says that. Look, I see mum in her, and Rodney's reaction is like, fucking great, isn't it? The one girl I actually like and really want to be with turns out to be my fucking niece. It later turned out actually it was nothing to do with Del, even though they were dating. She was been cheating on him with
his best mate, hadn't she?
With his best mate, and obviously that night, all these years of having guilt, thinking that this best mate was coming to see him at the pub.
Yeah, he was going to see her.
Going to see her and give her, you know what?
And he got run over or something, didn't he? Or something.
Train tracks, yeah.
You know, another episode. It's an episode I quite liked. This is a very obscure episode. I don't know if you remember it. It's quite an early one, but see, because when I grew up, I loved the comedies and all that. But I also like horror films, and I remember one episode. There's that one, and actually, I think it is they call it 13th or something. I think the episode's called something like the 13th.
Friday the 14th. I was just watching it earlier.
Yeah, that one, Friday the 14th. Yeah, where they're down in Cornwall or something like that, or
Cornwall.
And there's that madman on the loose, and he comes into their cabin or whatever where they are or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember really liking that episode because it actually felt a bit like a horror film, you know, and it was just. It was just so well done and everything, and I mean, it was quite scary. It was actually a bit scary as well. It had that element to it as well. That episode, and it was just. I remember thinking, "Wow, this is just so good," you know. And that was another episode I like, a very obscure one. That one.
Well, especially when they obviously Rodney and Grandad take this body, this person they think is obviously the person they've been told is the ex-murderer. There's like, no, he works down at the hospital. He's a security guy. This guy actually, and the guy you've been told who he is isn't the person at all. He's actually the person we're after.
Yeah, didn't he go into their cabin or whatever? Didn't he?
Yeah.
And
then
he's talking to him. Yeah.
And then the very next scene, obviously back at the cabin, the boy gets the phone rings. It's like, all right, Rodney, get there safe. And obviously he's getting told on the phone, careful, like Del. This is the person. This person. He's the max murderer. The one you're with now. And he's like, oh, is he really?
It's just to see whether. Yeah, just to see where the shoe drops. Yeah. It's like, oh, right, really? I was just like, oh, that's a brilliant sequence.
Going to play pool with him as well, or something. I don't like you. Yeah.
I hate winning because winners get challenged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this, that, never. Hey, do I make this interesting? Let's make it £10 a shot or whatever. £10 every game we win. The winner wins £10. Yeah, what? Why not? And obviously they're not playing snooker because the guy's fucking. And it's like they're basically playing imaginary fucking with the bloody yaks and all that. Imaginary snooker and all that. He's like, do you want to? And he picks up the imaginary fucking chalk and all that. Do you want to start? And it just ends there.
Brilliant. Really brilliant, yeah. I love that episode. I love that episode. It's quite good. Yeah.
Oh dear.
What about you guys? What do you guys think about when? I mean, of course, it's been brilliant throughout, but there was a time when there were a few times when it wobbled a little bit. I mean, it wasn't 100% brilliant throughout, was it? And I remember, for me, I thought it wobbled a little bit with that whole. For me personally, anyway, that whole the whole Damien thing happened. You know, when he got a kid, when
supernatural type, didn't it? That's why.
Yeah, when what's her name? Marley, or was it who became the
Raquel?
Raquel, that was it. Raquel and Del Boy had Damien and the whole Rodney Damien thing, Omen.
The
thing,
Omen music,
and all that. I just thought that was a bit silly for me, and I thought that those episodes were a bit silly, but anyway, it's still brilliant, of course. But I don't know what you guys think. Any part of the series you guys thought was a bit wobbly?
Well, the first series, it was going to get cancelled because the viewership wasn't that great on the first series when it originally aired. I mean, they had to really push for it to get a second series. So yeah, the first series, it's sort of some of the episodes are not great, but you can watch them all back, and you always find something funny in every episode. But yeah, it didn't start on a great footing, to be honest.
Well, you've got to remember also what they did cleverly. They brought all the peripheral characters into it more, didn't they? All these ones that you might have seen once, they had a character of their own, and they had proper lines rather than just one-liners.
Right.
They actually had there's a lot of meat to the bone with that lot.
Yeah, they were like most of them were like a really established characters. They had their own story, didn't they? They had their own storyline and all that. You know, yeah. So that's good, very good.
Yeah,
like you could tell. We could tell Boise's story.
Yeah.
You could tell Trigger's story. You could tell, Cassandra. Well, Cassandra should become a main character. But you could tell Denzel. You could tell, Mickey Pierce. Yeah. All of them had a story to them, didn't they? You know.
There's one other one I thought was very funny. It was when Rodney went into a band with his mates.
Oh yeah, and they went on top of the pops. Yeah,
and he had to. And obviously, he wanted to be their manager. They weren't very good, and to try and sell the group, what he did, he phoned up someone. I must have been some manager or something, some guy that had a hall. He says, "You've got to listen to them. They're fantastic." And what he did, he put a record player on The Bachelors.
Yeah.
And to make it sound even better, he had the phone in his hand like that. Had the turntable beneath him. He was going like that to make the sound better. Not that it made any difference at all. It was so funny, hilarious. Yeah. He'd always look for an angle, wouldn't he, Del Boy?
Yeah.
And
that was funny.
And as Max says in the chat, mental Mickey in that episode. I did a 1, 2, 3, Rodney. And every time.
Yeah, and then they ended up on top of the pops at the end, didn't they?
He was the lead singer, wasn't he? The man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Man.
What was the episode where it's in my mind, but I just can't remember what it was, where Del Boy was seeing a girl or a girlfriend of his, but they had to get away and they stayed with some old lady who they thought was their aunt or something.
Yeah, it wasn't though, was it?
No, it wasn't. But by the time they got back to the flat, she left the phone off the hook, didn't she? At the speaking clock all week, in Australia or something.
Yeah.
They would have got a massive phone bill at the end of it. I can't remember why they went down to that old lady's house. I can't remember.
Basically, it was one of his exes that turned up, and he's obviously a typical young Del at the time. Part of his character back then was he fell head over heels, going to get engaged to her, this, that, and the other. And she was doing her best to out Granddad and Rodney out of the flat and all that. So the flat.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
And basically, Rodney and Granddad have come up with this story that. Del Boy, we've been told this and X, Y, and Z, and then Trigger was brought into it as well into the made up story. Basically, he'd heard from a friend that basically she'd deliberately killed her ex-husband, and things like food poisoning. A couple of them, and all being food poisoning. They both have been food poisoning, this, that, and the other. Yeah. It's like, enjoy your food, Del, because they're like, we're out of it. We can't have it to do with it now. And literally, he just like, that's it. Wait for me.
Let's go, yeah. And then they turned up as some poor old lady who they thought was somebody else, and she thought they were somebody else, and And
then literally, I know, it's like, can I ask you a question? Sure, Auntie. Ask away. Who are you?
They're eating their supper as well at the time, weren't they? She made supper for them.
They made supper for them. They had a bath. They slept there overnight and everything.
Who are you?
So who are you? And then they just dawned on it. Hang on. No, are you so-and-so's son of boys? And they just want to be, yeah. That'd be lovely. And then I'll go make it up a pie and that'd be lovely, auntie, and things like that. And then obviously they end up back at the
they put some money in their pocket, didn't they? Did he get some money out and stick it in their pocket or something? To help, or something, To
help out, obviously, thank you for the help.
Housekeeping and stuff,
But also, what was it? Going back to one of the specials to Hunnenbach with Denzel, that whole episode was, in terms of his character, was no matter where I turn Rodney, he's fucking there. And he obviously goes up north, not knowing the situation, what's going on their side of things. And everywhere he looks, Del Boy's walking past the back of the calf.
Goes on the beach, doesn't he? And he sees them, and
it's like, that's it. I've lost it.
But at least the one Slater got his comeuppance at the end of that, didn't he? So
and he obviously popped back in a few years later, didn't he? And again, out of nowhere, we don't expect it. It turns out he's fucking Raquel's ex-husband.
Raquel's ex-husband, yeah.
That she's been talking about for years, and obviously he got wind of it all. That she was living in the area, and that she was living with Dell, and he'd used this whole the whole school reunion thing to get back into the flat to see if it's real or not. But also in that build-up as well, Trigger again. We go back to Trigger. Just before Slater turns up, Trigger pops in like, "Oh, you Trigger, behave yourself." He couldn't all because I piss up in the boy basically. He's like, I've been standing in your hall, Mike, for the last half hour, the disco hall. It's like, but it's the lights are off. Oh no, I thought it was a surprise party. I thought everyone was going to pop up, but no one was there. Oh no! He comes back with, "How do I know that? It was pitch black." And they're all looking at him like, "You bloody idiot!" But it's only Trigger that put himself in that situation because it's like, "Oh yeah, that's it. I got lost on the way here." You've come in for the last 16, and he obviously goes into it. I was like, "Oh fuck." But again, it's a one-liners. It's a brilliant, and again the acting as well be able to put it off and know that's from that character's perspective. That was believable from him to be able to. He would do something like that. That's stupid. I'm trying to think now. On my head, right? I mean, you said obviously we touched on it earlier. Obviously, they were meant to end it as we touched on earlier of them becoming the millionaires, and that was it. That was meant to be it, no more. Then the pressure was put on them to do one-off specials, and as you said, I think as Elvin said, and you guys said, it sort of ruined it because they sort of then took the money away from it, to bring it. Basically, their thing was to
kind of sad story at the end, didn't it? Sad ending.
Yeah, to bring it back for 3 episodes. They basically did. The 3 episodes they did. They basically took the £1 million away from them. Basically, whipped it away from basically being done over. They invested it in the stock market. It crashed. They lost all their money basically, and that's the way they wanted. That's the only way they could see bringing it back and putting it back in the flat and all that. And even the very last episode, they get saved, but it's like for a few £1,000 because Uncle Albert, with the money they palmed off to him as a look after him and all that, he'd put in his will and all that to give back to him and all that anyway. And they're going to use that. So they really didn't. Yeah, even then, that even though they got saved and they got a roof over their head and all their debts were paid off in that sense, that they had Delboy owned the inland revenue. Yeah, it basically ended how it started in the end, with them not having a pot to piss in, basically, with all due respect.
Yeah, I agree. It just went a bit too far. They couldn't just leave it alone, could they? There was so much. Yeah. I think so many people wanted to see it again, didn't they?
But the thing is, they could have brought it back with them not having to go through all that hardship of losing everything they'd worked so hard for in the first place to get to that point, and then to end it again and, as I said, end it and then basically instead of having the happy ending as we saw, it's to basically we've got a sort of happy ending, but not the happy ending it would have been.
Worse for them, though, right?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
They were in a much worse position. Because when they had nothing, they didn't want for anything. They had the hope of getting something. When they had everything they could ever wish for, and it was taken away from them, that's when it hurt them even more.
Yeah. I know I was messing about, but yeah, if I had 1 million views in a year's time, I'd fucking lose my mind. I'd probably. Jesus Christ. Oh dear. But,
I think it's like what Ryan said when John Sullivan, when it came to writing the series again after the ending, it was just like I think it was the only way it made sense to him.
To him, yeah, but they could have done it
because I mean, if they would have remained rich, how the dynamics lost, isn't it? The whole premise.
They need to be
the whole premise and the dynamic. They need to be struggling for it to work, don't they? That's the thing, isn't it?
There should have been a situation where they thought they lost their money, but they haven't. And right at the end, they get it back. What they thought they'd lost.
Yeah, maybe could have worked. Yeah.
Because again, it was the second to last episode they did when it was obviously that Gold Rush. That
was funny, yeah.
Again, they sort of teased it teased that you could get some money back, like 50 grand or whatever it was, and come back on the show. And obviously, you thinking it's Vicky Pearson messing about and all that. And it's sort of tease it, giving it back, but they don't. Now, if they'd done the final episode where they, as you said, the potential of having it all back. They looked like they lost everything. They got to a few episodes ago. So if they had gone the route of you've gone through this hardship again for the last couple of years, but you know what? You've got another opportunity of getting back what you got, and it ended on that high again. I think everyone would have been happy, and that'll be it. And I think because obviously the way it ended, that's why I think even more so people were like, we want more episodes in. We want the people again want that happy ending. But they initially did have. They want it again for them because they deserved it. Because the characters and the hardship they've gone through the first time round, and to go through it all again and lose it all was like, and then not to get any sort of reward. And sort of,
I think you have to blame the BBC there because they obviously every Christmas a new one came out, wasn't it? And the BBC just wanted that. Right, we've got the best program. We've got the best program on TV.
Yeah, because I was just
on Christmas Day. It's ours. Yeah, I think that's just like what they wanted.
Because I was looking through all the, I'm just checking through all the, the episodes here, the list of episodes, and you can see like each series. The first series had one special at the end, the Christmas special. The second series had a special. Then the third series had a special. It was always around Christmas time. And then series 4 had one special. Series 5 ended up having 3 specials. So they obviously realised around that point, this was 1988. They realised around that point that there was a lot more in the specials. And it was 2 or 3. Each series had 2 or 3 specials. Series. I look at series 7 here, made in 1990 and 91. They actually had 4. They actually had 4 specials where Miami Twice was 2 of them. I mean, 2 episodes.
Had they stopped doing the series by then, though? Had they just gone from having a series to doing the long format ones?
No, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes in the series, and then after that came, specials. And but I can see now there was a period now where there wasn't a series because I see after in 91, December 91, Christmas time was Miami Twice. I can see then there was nothing in 92 until the special of 92, basically.
Yeah, because they ditched doing this. They ditched the series, and then they just did a Christmas one. Yeah,
and then they didn't do anything again then until 96, basically. That's when Heroes and Villains was the first episode back in 96. That was a special as well, wasn't it? I think, wasn't it? That's it. They basically that was just like you're right, Russ. It was just specials then. From 96 till 2003, basically, it was just specials.
Well, I think obviously other David Jason's obviously doing Frost and other things like that. I think it sort of gets to a point where they do specials fine, but I don't want to keep doing a series of it. And I think the other Nicholas Lyndhurst, he was doing other stuff as well. He was doing Goodnight Sweetheart, and they all had their other sort of jobs that they were doing. So I thought probably they just thought, just do a Christmas one or whatever and carry it on that way.
It's harder to think of 12 different ideas of a story, having one story and building, building the story. So I don't. You can't blame them. I mean, nothing goes on forever.
No,
it's impossible. No, you're
saturated with ideas to a certain. You've used all your ideas up.
Yeah.
You think of I can think of so many great television series, American, British, where they just go on too far. They go on too long, and it's a season or two too much. It jumps. There's that saying, it jumps the shark. Where it basically just. It becomes a bit
parodies itself, basically. Yeah,
but it doesn't become as good anymore. It loses its edge. It loses its appeal. And it's great that with Only Fools and Horses, arguably they went on too long at the end by going past that what should have been the last episode. I agree that might have been a bit too much there, but before then it was just brilliant, wasn't it? All the way through, they just kept that appeal. That quality throughout, didn't they? That's just so hard to do, isn't it, at that level?
But I think the British have it well because we generally in TV series in Britain they only last sort of like 6 episodes, and they 6 to 8, 10 maximum. In America, it's like you have 24 episodes a season, and I mean sometimes they just get so repetitive, and
it's
trying
like
to pad it out and everything.
Yeah, it's like 12 episodes at least they have to have in a season. You know, it's it's too much, too much.
In the UK, you can usually get away with like 6 every year or something.
Yeah, 6 is quite normal, isn't it? 6 episodes
like
is quite normal.
Or The Office or stuff. I mean, because The Office, there was only 12 episodes of that.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
And also, the other one that's very famous, only had about 8 episodes, was 40 Towers, wasn't it?
40 Towers.
Yeah, that's true. That's legendary. Yeah, legendary.
That's legendary, and had about, I think it was 8. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't more than that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, 2 seasons. That was it. It was done. No specials, no nothing. It was literally them 2 seasons and gone. Daz in the chat. It looks like he's a new one in the chat. So if you haven't subscribed, Daz, do subscribe.
Big up Daz 252.
Yeah, do subscribe and do smash the like button. Also, we did touch on this earlier, but we'll say again, we didn't really. I personally,
I didn't like it. I didn't think the quality was good enough. I just thought it was very. It was a bit amateurish for me. Rock and Chips.
Rock and Chips.
I never saw it.
No, it was. You didn't miss much, Melvin. To be honest, you really didn't. It was and he saw Nicholas Lyndhurst was part of it as well, wasn't he? So he's obviously because to do with the production of it and everything.
Because that's what I'm saying. It was literally just 2 series or something like that, and a special, or basically just telling the story of how the Del Boy's mum went from being where she was to meeting Freddie Robdell, having an affair with him, getting pregnant with Rodney, having Rodney, and then obviously what was it? Freddie knowing that obviously the baby was his, but couldn't say it publicly because obviously she was still with Del Boy's dad and all that, and it was just literally.
How can it be a winner? I mean, you watched Fools and Horses, not to be told a story, but be told, but have a not told anything, but watch it. You weren't there to learn anything about the family. You learned it as you went along. You won't get these facts. You don't want the facts. You just want basically the facts to come in when it adds to the comedy.
Yeah, it just seemed watching it. It just seemed false. I never really enjoyed it personally, and I think that's why I never really hit off. I think that's the difference between, because I did the Green Grass as well, and that's the difference. Because Green Grass took off because they just did what they went back to basics and did what they did with Only Fools and Horses, and did the introduction of characters and things that didn't force it down your throat. You got to sit and enjoy the show itself and the characters, and obviously the casting of Tyler as well and things like that, and his little stories often here and there and everywhere.
It's like the one with because they meet Reenie, don't they? Aunt Reenie, and she tells them about
Freddie Robdell and all
Uncle
that.
Freddie, and is that the one at the end where they try and find his treasure and it's underwater? Is that the same episode? I can't remember.
The Fox Legacy,
yeah, because it's out in the sea, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where he's been buried with no, he didn't be buried. He'd organised it all for his friend and all that via Peckham. Did it the local undertaker and all that, and it was in the middle of the sea. Like, and Del Boy's, because obviously the whole build-up, the whole story of what that episode was the possibility of Freddie Robdell having an affair with the mum and all that, and possibly Rodney looking exactly like him.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of built from that, and again that story, that arc, then built from there. It sort of every now and then dropped in every now and then, and again even that sort of got overplayed, and they're sort of this is leaving it as a possibility. There's sort of the part of the reason bringing it back was just to finish it off. Like, that's definitely the case. And a few years later, we got the bloody Rock and Chips, and obviously he got being obviously the story behind it. He got the main role for that as well.
Yeah,
and it's just
Yeah, so they're always trying to do spin-offs, aren't they? And milk it and that type of thing. It just didn't work for me. Rock and Chips just did well. I saw like 1 or 2 episodes. I was like, nah.
Yeah. I've never known any spin-offs to work. Really, have you? Any spin-offs in any? There's
very few. There's very few, basically. Yeah. Very few that work. Very few.
Yeah. I
mean, they try sometimes to spin off characters like Joey from Friends. He had his own series.
Yeah.
That was one lot of crap. I saw 2 minutes of that a week tonight, and I think he had one series in it.
Well,
they didn't last long. That one.
As he did in Friends.
There's one spin-off I've been watching that I quite like. I mean, it's one of very, like you say, very few that work. Is Better Call Saul. I think is very good. It's a spin-off from Breaking Bad. I don't know if you've ever seen Breaking Bad. Very
I've
good
heard it.
series.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very good series. And Better Call Saul is a spin-off from that. It's also very good. But again, that's because it's the same creator. It's the same guys behind. One of the main creators behind Breaking Bad he's produced Better Call Saul, so that's one of the reasons why it's working so well.
I know we're going a little bit off the subject, but have you got one television series, either from the UK, US series, that you think you could watch again, or you think is unbelievable?
Many for me, really, really. I mean,
2 or 3 for me. I can think of.
There's so much. Yeah, go on.
My 2 Sopranos, both American.
Yeah.
And there's others as well. And The West Wing.
Yeah, brilliant. West Wing is brilliant. Martin Sheen as the president. Brilliant.
Have you seen it, Ryan?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Well, I've got the box set. I've got the box set. All the episodes got box set. Yeah.
What about you, Russ? You seen it?
A huge box set like that is.
I know, it must be.
I haven't seen it, mate. No, it's trying to watch TV when you've got a little boy sort of running around. It is just impossible. And like trying to wait till he's go to bed and trying to watch stuff. I mean, my sort of favourite. I mean, I like Walking Dead. I quite like that. Game of Thrones, things like that. I get to a certain point and I forget what's happened, so I have to like rewatch it again to get up to where I was before. But with English shows, just like I said before, Peep Show, Alan Partridge, Father Ted, all of those are absolutely brilliant.
What about The Office? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, because that was based in Slough where I live. So
exactly. Yeah.
That was. I think the guy is very, very good. The main guy, he's a genius, I reckon.
Ricky Gervais.
Comedy to a different angle with comedy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the old camera looking at you. It's been like Peep Show, didn't it? When they were like
Peep Shows, with
they're breaking the third wall. Yeah,
the point of view from the thing that you're looking straight at the characters, aren't you? Yeah.
He's the genius.
Ricky Gervais was also good. I thought Extras was good as well. I enjoyed Extras.
Yeah, Extras was very good.
Yeah.
Whatever he does is good. And my
like Peter Kay and stuff like that. I used to watch like Phoenix Nights and Peter Kay.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Phoenix Nights.
Yeah.
For me, Car Share as well. That's very funny.
Car was very good.
Very easy idea.
Very good. Yeah. He's good, Peter Kay. Very good.
He's brilliant.
For me, I really enjoyed, like you say, Sopranos was fantastic, and for me, Sopranos was really the breakthrough, like benchmark of new series where, you know, you can really say that the quality of TV really rose up then because improved because you look at the Sopranos and every episode is like a movie,
Yes.
It really is.
Hang on.
Every episode is like a movie, and the cinematography, the way it's filmed and everything. Each episode could be a cinema movie. It could be you watching it at the cinema. It's that.
It's like mini Godfathers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a whole. Each episode is like a Godfather installment, and it's just so well filmed, and it just raised the level of television to a whole new level when Sopranos came out. I mean, it really blew everything out of the water.
Yeah.
That was the sort of like my issue that I'm saying to you guys before. It's like in the late 90s, early 2000s, like you had like The Sopranos, Lost, and things like that. But it was just the series, 26 episodes. Then you get the next series and the next series. It's like
Sopranos,
it just takes so long. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes long. I agree. It's a lot of episodes. But with Sopranos, they actually did the right thing and ended it on a high. They ended it with 6. Well, basically 7 because they split the last season into 2, so it's really 7 seasons. But yeah, it's they finished it on a high. Thankfully, they didn't take it too far. But and another one I really liked was The Wire. I thought The Wire was fantastic as well. Another HBO. The HBO have made so many good series. The Wire I thought was really good. Yeah. So talking about a bit off topic here, really, but
what's this about? What's that about, Del Boy?
What about Del Boy? The Fog's legacy? He's like, obviously, they find out it's all out at sea. He's like, obviously, with Albert's training in the war and all that. I'll get you all the gear. You're going to go deep sea diving. You're going to go down and get it. What about you? And he said, no. I won't last 5 minutes. Off you go. But Del, it's 20 feet. They're like, Del, it's 20 feet down. And he's like so disappointed because he's like, that's our birthright out there. But technically, it wasn't theirs. It was technically Rodney's because Rodney was obviously the offspring. So technically, but that was come out later down the line. But yeah, but his whole thing of that's our birthright out there. We deserve that. We don't. And obviously, not knowing at the time, obviously they had this fucking watch in the garage just gathering dust.
It's been there for years. Yeah, they.
Oh dear. Melina's saying also that's another one for the younger generation. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith.
Yeah, I used to watch that. I can sort of take it or leave it.
Yeah. Not on the same level, in my opinion.
No, not on the same level, but I'm saying because obviously for America, that's their sort of thing in America, along with The Sopranos. That first all-black cast, basically, of it had Will Smith leading.
Well, America was sitcoms, wasn't it? I mean, Seinfeld basically launched the sitcom, didn't
Cheers.
it?
Cheers.
And Seinfeld.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. You ever watched that?
Curb Your Enthusiasm came later. That's the guy behind Seinfeld. Larry David is the guy behind Seinfeld. Yeah. Larry David had his own show with Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, it's a great show. I like it.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, America's more sitcoms. America's like the home of sitcoms, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
No,
they're doing it now again with they're doing it now again with Modern Family. They're still doing it now. It's working well with Modern Family,
Well, I used to watch Married with Children because I used to have Al Bundy in it. Oh my god,
Bundy, Al Bundy, not Ted Bundy, that's a murderer, but Al Bundy.
Yeah, Al Bundy.
I was surprised to remember that. Do you remember Different
He was so funny. I mean, that was just a great series.
Yeah,
I love Different Strokes.
Peg.
Different Strokes. Yeah.
Al Bundy with Peg, his wife, crazy wife, for the kids, and oh my god,
kids,
he just hated him. He just hated him. He hated his life, hated them, and it was just such a different way of looking at things, wasn't it? It was all basically him just hating everyone,
Him against the world, He worked in a shoe shop, didn't he, and all that, yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. And he hated all the customers. Remember those episodes when he was in the shoe shop? He just hated all the customers. He was slagging them off, Oh, God, that's funny.
Well, yeah, what's our next one, Ryan? What's the next TV series we're going to review?
What was it? I'll go back in the chat. It was
40 Towers. I saw it suggested.
40 Towers, and that would be from Deluxe Detailing. Shout out to him because he's obviously mentioned it. Go back to his comment later, but yeah, he mentioned 40 Towers maybe.
Yeah.
It's quite an easy watch actually because it's only like 9 episodes, so I could get through that quite quickly.
I think John said there's only 12 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think literally, what was it? The one standout we all know of is "Don't Tell the Germans," and that the 6th.
Yeah. Don't mention the war.
I think I got away with it.
Yeah, I think I got away with it. And he goes, "I'll do this. I'll do this." This is funny because the girl's crying and all that. And he's about to do it. Polly sees him. He's like, no. And he's like,
do
something. Do our card thing or something. I was like, no, I'm doing this. Watch. He got stuck in the church.
Don't say anymore.
Famous walk. The famous walk.
Next time.
Or Father Ted as well. John just mentioned Father Ted. We could do
Father
it well.
Ted, yeah.
There's quite a few things. In terms of
Bottom. Someone mentioned Bottom. That was quite funny.
I haven't seen that. I've seen some of Bottom. I haven't really seen a lot of it, but yeah, it was very good. Obviously, Rick Mail and
Adrian Edmondson. Yeah.
Cheddar says Father Ted is the best sitcom. That's a shout.
I think Father Ted though is just there's how many episodes are there already of Father Ted though?
Let's Google that one sec. Have a look.
Quite a few.
I know there's a few, but it's just, is there really that much to talk about with it, really, though? That's the thing. I mean, it's...
I never really saw that, to be honest with you.
Father Ted is funny, but it's just, is there really that much to talk about? To be honest, I mean, it's.
It had 3 seasons. That's all I can get up now. I was googling it now. About 8 episodes a season by the looks of it. One second, I was looking now.
Excuse me 1 minute, gentlemen. Yeah.
Yep.
11, 6,
Dungeons calling.
The dungeon's good. You heard someone trying to get out.
John's saying he thinks there's like 21 episodes, he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's not that many. You think there would be more because obviously it was.
Yeah, the guy died, didn't he?
It was relevant for quite a long time, yeah, and he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the reason why that stopped, because obviously the main character, the actor, actually passed away.
The thing was, though, I mean, there's not that many peripheral characters in there, though, is there? There's
you're sort of stuck with the 4 characters, aren't you?
The 4 characters: the housekeeper Mary, Father Jack, the young, the young one, and Father Ted.
And you got the housekeeper. Tea, want some tea? Oh, go on.
Yeah, that's all it was, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally.
And then my favourite was Jack. What was it, Jack, the drunk guy in the seat or the chair? Feckers are I mean, it was funny, but you can't really. I don't know. I don't think you can make a show out of it.
What about Peep Show?
Peep Show's amazing.
I've only seen a little bit of it, so that would have to be. I wouldn't be able to join you on that one.
Trying to think. No,
if I could join you on 40 Towers, if you want to do 40 Towers, I can join you on that.
Definitely 40 Towers and all that. We'll try and stick with obviously the British side of things, and obviously once we run out of the British side of things, we're sort of pan out to like Sopranos and things like that. And
when we get more American viewers, we'll.
Yeah.
But saying that though, I used to watch like Buffy the Vampire Slayer quite a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. I bet you did, didn't you? I know why.
And you're saying that spin-offs don't usually work very well. Angel was actually quite good spin-off from that. Actually,
I never saw that.
That was quite good actually. Gavin and Stacey are. No, I was never a fan of that really. I don't know why. I just never really watched it.
Is that James Corden?
Yeah. That's where he started, wasn't it? That's where he made it.
I'm not really a James Corden fan, to be honest. I mean, he's not really my cup of tea.
I liked it at first, but then after the one-off special they've just done last year ruined it. Really, you could tell by how it's been acted out and how it's been written, and that James Corden wasn't really interested. He wanted it to fail because also he's always interested in living in the States now. He doesn't want to keep coming back every 6 months, filming things like that. So
he can't afford to say no, can't he? Now
that's what I'm saying. You could tell, even though it's his thing, it's his baby, along with was it Ruth Jenkins, or what her name is.
He wrote it originally, didn't he?
Even though it's their baby, he out of the two, he was less interested in the writing of it and the acting of it. It's sort of certain parts of it are sort of like a dig at the public as well, because obviously since I was going to the States, I had that little had the dig aimed at him that obviously he's up himself now. He doesn't really care about us, this, that, and the other. And again, he did that. If you look at it, go look it back at it, there were the little digs in there to the public, like basically "fuck you." It's a sort of. And again, there is these things that come out every now and then that James Corden, even in the States, isn't like, because when the cameras are off and they're not recording, he's so disinterested. He doesn't really interact with the people and the people that come out to watch him. He's like on his phone, doesn't look like he wants to be there. He's just there for the paycheck. So that's sort of I don't know.
He's a lucky bastard, though, isn't he, to get that job he got in America. What a lucky bastard, honestly. Jesus, get a talk show like that and everything, that carpool stuff.
Just like that.
Completely taken off, hasn't it? That carpool stuff, whatever it is. Carpool karaoke, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, carpool. Yeah, and again, the carpool karaoke wouldn't have happened if it weren't for George Michael doing a little sketch with him before he went off to the States. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, it's who you know, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh dear, but yeah, how lucky can you get? That's the most untalented person in the world, and he gets. And if we're honest, he is what he is. One second, bloody hell. Oh, I've just been sending a screenshot over showing that there's the up-to-date likes and dislikes and all that malarkey. Yeah, even John says he can't stand James Corden as well. Cheddar's saying Peep Show gets better later on. You know what?
I actually prefer the first 3 series of Peep Show rather than now.
Because they sort of ended it, and then they sort of brought it back for no reason whatsoever. And it just felt like, again, they just did it for the sake of it, for the money.
And another thing, Olivia Colman's in that, isn't she?
That's right.
She's in the first.
And she, she's the love interest and co-worker or something, isn't she?
Yeah.
Love
and
gets jilted at the
end. And look how she turned out. I mean, she turned out bloody Oscar winner, didn't she? I mean,
she's one of the tops. She's the top. But what was she in after that? Do you remember what she was in after that, Sam?
Hot Fuzz.
She was in Hot Fuzz. She's in a few
series,
things.
she's a comedy series.
I'm not sure what she was in after that, to be honest.
I'll tell you what it was. She was the idiot in Green Wing. You know.
Oh yeah, she was.
I didn't really see that, to be honest. But
that was very funny.
I remember.
That was a series of, during the program. It was like different scenes that had nothing to do with each other within the hospital. It was very funny. Some good characters in that as well.
Olivia Colman's a great actress, isn't she? Oh, she's a great actress. Yeah, she's really taken off since then. Really taken off.
I mean, Deluxe detailing in the chat, he's got a good point here. He says, I think John Cleese has a charm that makes 40 Towers worth talking about.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah.
But with the thing with 40 Towers, though, is just there's so many. I mean, all 12 episodes basically are good, aren't they? You know.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're going to go away and have a talk about it and see what everyone's going to be interested in coming on for. Yeah. And you know what? You know what? If you guys want it, we're going to keep doing it, like make a weekly basis or something like that. Find a slot in the week where there's no football or nothing, or no Arsenal football anyway.
Every international break.
See you 6 months.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's 6 months then, because I don't want an international break.
Well, hopefully Sam might have done his general knowledge quiz by then. Still waiting.
The year 2023, and we still wait.
Still wait for his quiz.
So who's going to take part in that then? I know you're going to take part in that. Who's going to take part in that then?
I'll give it a go. Why not?
Get Richard on. Richard will be all right. He's quite.
Melvin's
a font of knowledge, I'm sure.
Yeah, Mel. Yeah. Because I can't go general knowledge, so you know, I think anyone could win that one basically.
This is a good question. Before you wrap things up, from Melina in the chat saying, if you could bring one old classic TV show back, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I'll use my brain now. Not used to
that. What, with the same characters?
Yeah, I'd assume so. Yeah, the same character, same everything. That one show you love so much.
Just you miss. You know, I wouldn't think of it as in the context of today, whether it would work today. Don't think about that. I think just about one you really miss that you wish you could, just have on come back and be like it was, type of thing. That's a good question. I tell you what, Only Fools and Horses really does come to mind. I mean, it was such a fantastic series. Really miss it. It really does.
There was this thing when I was growing up. I don't know how old I was at the time. It was an American, a very weird one. I saw it for the first time. I hated it. And then my parents, I was living with my parents at the time, watched it. And I thought, after a while, this is so funny, called Soap.
Oh yeah, the American one with Billy Crystal.
Very strange program, comedy. It was so funny.
Yeah,
it was really weird. Yeah.
That's Billy Crystal, wasn't it? That's the one that launched Billy Crystal.
That's it. Billy Crystal. That's it. He was in it. That's it.
It launched him, didn't it? That one basically.
Did you watch that at all, Sam?
I've only seen a few episodes. It was a bit before my time.
A bit weird, a bit weird, but good.
Here's another shout. from Deluxe Detail.
The In-Betweeners are funny. The In-Betweeners are funny. Really funny.
You know what? That might be that. I think that we'll do 40 Towers, and then next one we'll do In Between. So next two ones we'll cover then 40 Towers and In Between.
Do any of you lot watch Friday Night Dinner? Have you ever any of you seen that?
It's gone off.
I don't.
The first two were good. After that, it was downhill.
Yeah.
The geezer from In Betweeners was in it.
Yeah, the one of them from In Betweeners was in it, and the other one who was. Yeah. He was in some what was that Roman program
thing? That's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was quite good. But you know who he is? That guy from the In-Between. From Friday Night. It was in the Roman thing. Is Jim Rosenthal's son?
Yeah, Jim Rosenthal's son. Yeah, the commentator.
Yeah.
You can tell because he looks like him.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
He had a football on his head.
Oh dear.
I can't think. So many old TV programs I've seen. Do you know what I used to? Oh, what was it called? Come back to me in a minute. I'll try and think of what it's called.
Big one to Melvin there. What's a quiz without Melvin taking his shirt off?
I've been down the gym just in case.
Ever since. He's getting ready for next week running us. Getting the weights and everything. Oh dear. Be a 6-pack next week. You watch. Then you'll be flustered.
Oh, that's it. Thought of it. Bless this house. Sid James. Really, really funny.
I'll tell you what.
I don't know that one.
I've got an actual classic for you. You might have watched it. You wouldn't have watched it obviously when it was out. I didn't watch any of it was out. A little bit I might have done. It went on for years. Was Bilko.
Sergeant Bilko.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
That's going back before my time.
Vaguely,
You weren't around when it was made. Did you ever watch any episodes?
Phil Silvers, I've seen a few of them,
Absolute classic. That was fantastic. So funny. Brilliant.
You know another a series. I think it's rather overlooked. I don't know how many people saw it. To be honest, it was out in the early 80s, and again, I didn't see it when it came out. Obviously, I was a bit too young and everything, but I rather liked it looking at it now. Not many years ago. It was Auf Wiedersehen, Pet.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Auf Wiedersehen, Pet, which you
when they're in Germany.
Timothy.
They're first off in Germany, and then they're in Spain. Then they're Spain. Then they're in Cuba, and then they're in.
They went to America. Then they went to Cuba, and
they went to America. Then they went to Cuba, and then they ended up in Africa or something like that, wasn't it?
I remember the Germans.
Cambodia.
Me and my wife met them on a holiday because we went on holiday to Spain, and for a few nights we actually drank, not with them, but they were with us. We knew them first name, a couple of the actors, and the geezer that was the young guy that got killed early. You know, the one that was like
Gary Holden. Yeah,
he died at a very early age. His character was what he was like in real life.
Yeah, Wayne.
Because he was a rocker. He was a rocker. He was a
punk rocker.
He was a punk rocker. He was in a band and all that, wasn't he? Yeah.
He always used to be at the same bar, and he was like outside, and he was always this girl, that girl, this. You know what I mean? It was amazing, and everyone up. He was just like he would be in the series. Absolutely amazing.
That's a good series. That's Also, what's his name? Timothy Spall, he was also in that one.
That's where he started. He became a very obviously good actor then, but he really did some good work after that as well.
Exactly.
Films. Still, there we go. Right, there we go.
Oh dear.
That was very, very enjoyable, actually.
It was good, wasn't it?
It's nice to talk about something other than football, isn't it, for a change?
Yeah. That's good fun. That's good fun.
Yeah,
that's right.
I just wanted to do something that's just what I do, something that's different. Obviously, with international football, I'm not really interested in that. Everything that's gone off at Arsenal. So one night we just get away from football, just talk about something we all love outside of football.
Really enjoyed that. Brilliant idea.
Yeah, and thanks to Deluxe, we've got a few episodes covered for the next few weeks. Yeah. Was it Blackadder? He's saying Dad's Army as well as a favourite for him.
Blackadder could be quite good.
Yeah, Blackadder, Dad's Army. Not really my sort of thing, but they're good.
Baldrick. I've got a cunning plan here.
The cunning plan.
The In-Betweeners, and there was something else, and that was the 40 Towers. So the next few weeks of these non-footballing podcasts were covered thanks to big shout out to Deluxe Detailing for that one. We're sort of covered there. No stress. We just sort of dates and the times now. Maybe it doesn't hard of anything outside of this. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it watching and everything. The chat has been really good tonight as well. Again, giving their
really getting involved, weren't they? They really got involved.
Really getting involved and really giving us their sort of shouts.
I was pleased that there were actually a few people in the chat who had actually seen Only Fools and Horses. You know, it was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And he also got Stan who came in as well. Obviously, he gave a few good shouts. Mad Max, who I haven't seen for a while on the channel.
Mad Max.
What a name to give as well. And then obviously picture
Deluxe
of that.
Detailing. That's great.
Deluxe Detailing is a brilliant name, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a brilliant name. Deluxe Detailing. Fantastic name.
Also, yeah, John, Mark in the chat, all the usual guys in there as well, all giving their sort of 10 pence into the conversation as well. It's given their favourite moments, their favourite episode and things like that, and the little details that they sort of pulled out of something. It's really good. Again, it's a nice thing to do where we all can all come together and have them little discussions where we can sort of have these different favourite moments that you wouldn't think of, but you say it, it's like, oh yeah, and it sort of expands the conversation even more in that one moment. But yeah,
what you've done as well, Ryan. This subject would bring people, as you say, bring people together. With football, people have different ideas. Even if you support the same club, you've got different ideas within the club. I don't like him, but I like him, and there's a little bit of confrontation. Here, everyone's like so
on the same page.
Yeah. There's none of that either. Yeah, exactly. That's just sort of give it. And it seems like it's been well received, and obviously there's by the looks of it, call for more shows to come and all that, so.
More episodes. You have to create a new channel.
But you know what? Again, as it's walked me out, I'm going to double check now. We've got an extra sub, by the way, during this stream.
Ryan's TV reviews. Oh no, that's already taken. Some little kid called Ryan who does toy reviews.
34 likes and the one dislike from my friend. But it is what it is.
I shouldn't have put that dislike, should I?
You're wrong.
I dislike my own performance. Sorry.
Yeah, must try harder.
Oh dear. Oh my days. Take your top off.
No, don't.
That got the dislike last time.
That's your punishment. Oh my days. But yeah, in terms of the other bits we're going to the other shows we're sort of cover are going to go up. We're going to go off now to sort of to find a day and a time where we're all available, and we'll sort it out as soon as we've sorted the next one out. Again, you guys will be first to know times and dates and everything, and actually we'll go from that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this. The guys have said they've enjoyed it as well. I hope you guys at home have been watching this have enjoyed it as well. Do share the stream about if you have anything you know people are going to enjoy it as well. Do share the channel around the stream around itself.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Try and share as much as you can. This one.
Yes, on your WhatsApps, on your Instagrams, if you're on Discord, do it on Discord as well.
Everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can watch this.
Oh, this is a good one from Daz. I think he's our new subscriber, by the way. The one Discord was the trigger, but he meant to hit the like it. Oh dear. See you tomorrow evening, John, on Arsenal Fan Circle, and if Ryan streams. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do. What's tomorrow? Thursday. I don't.
We need moonlighting again.
Have a rest, mate. Have a rest.
Probably have tomorrow off. Then Friday do a preview for Sunday's game. Then Saturday doing the Newcastle Chelsea watch along, and that lot down the road playing Man City at 5:30 as well. Then Sunday doing Liverpool, Leeds Arsenal, and then
what time is kickoff on Sunday?
I think it's 4:30, isn't it?
4:30 UK time.
4:30, right? Okay, right.
Yeah, 4:30 UK time. But as I was saying to the guys, all social media, Twitters, Facebooks, you know, it's just because as Melvin says, it's something different. Even though it's a football channel, we're doing something different for you guys. And again, it's more of a not only something different, but it's a sort of a thank you as well because of what we've gone through the last couple of weeks. In the sense of we've got 400 and something, literally about the start of the 1st of November when 400 something. We've gone from that to 95. We're 95 away now from 1K subscribers, which again, honestly, I didn't see that growth in the channel being this quick, so quickly. I was more expecting it to be some point next year, something. So that it's a sort of a thank you as well. And as it's been so well received, we're going to go back, see when it's available, and do the next TV show and go from there. We've got a few episodes to sort of pan out now over the Christmas bit, over the festive period as well. So it's got.
I've got F all Christmas, to be honest. I mean, I can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere this Christmas. Everywhere we can't travel anywhere, can't do anything. So
I was about to say, literally, there's no guarantee, especially here in the UK. Like you said, you can't go anywhere yourselves in Norway, but here there's no guarantee. 2nd of December we'll be out of lockdown. Lockdown will be extended. Let's be honest. I don't know about yourself, Melvin, but where I am, nothing's changed from just before lockdown till now. Lockdown 2, sorry. Compared to when you look back in the summer when it was literally ghost town everywhere you went. Everyone's still out doing their own thing. No one's really abiding by the rule. So logically, you'd think in that case, lockdown's going to be extended. So again,
it could go on forever the way unless this done.
You know what? That's another. Yeah, exactly. And that's another reason why we can do things like this. Give you guys, even though it's a football channel, give you something to look forward to, not football related, and have a laugh with. As Melvin said earlier, we're all singing off the same hymn to it, and not like, we don't like that thing, or don't like that thing. We all like that one. It's one thing.
But you could also do like a Twitter poll or something, get everyone involved.
I could do that as well. Yeah, I've got over 4,000 followers now, so I might as well do that as well. Yeah, I could do that and see who, and do like that, and basically the winner of the 4 gets the next episode in the 2nd, the following week 3rd, and then do like that. I can do like that.
Yeah, put up a poll. Put up a poll. Yeah.
I've ordered for Christmas. I've ordered a film because I couldn't get it on Netflix. I've ordered Snow White and the 5 Dwarfs. I can't. That's all I'm allowed.
You're only allowed 5 of the 7.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, but where did the other 2 go then? What, they got kidnapped?
I was worried where he was going with that for a second. No wonder it's not on Netflix.
I'm just saying, is it one of those movies?
Exactly.
They couldn't find 7 dwarves to cast. Obviously, they could only find 5.
No, the other 2 are self-isolating, don't you know? Oh dear! You heard that as well. Fucking what was it? Mel Salah suddenly he's had a negative test come back now, so he can come back to England. Whilst in the meantime, he's fucking giving everyone in Egypt the fucking COVID, and he's giving El Neni COVID as well. But that's okay because now he's back. That's fantastic because Liverpool, suck him off. I'm just like,
listen, Liverpool in no good state. They've got half their team injured now.
Well, what's it? Gomez and Van Dijk are out for the season now.
Williams is injured now.
Williams is injured as well. I mean, but also it just does my head in because going back to Salah, the guy got COVID, got the positive test, and still went and done what he wanted. There's no consequence to it. It's like
no,
you should get a fine.
All different rules for different people. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You should get a fine. Yeah. Definitely get a fine.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect one to end it on. All in this together.
Yeah.
Well, us, we, the public are. We, the peasants, we are.
Yeah, the peasants. Yeah, the peasants are revolting.
Exactly. And what perfect way to do? I mean, come on YouTube once a week and talk all things outside of football and have a laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to wrap things up. Melvin, where can people find you?
On Twitter, on Melvin, the only way is Arsenal Marks, and I'm just Melvin Marks on Facebook, but I don't actually use that too much, just Twitter, mate.
Sam, what about yourself?
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel called Sam Greenwood TV. I haven't done much there for a long time, but I'm going to be doing a quiz soon. Keep your eye on that spot. Go and check it out. Please subscribe. That'd be great. And I'm also on Twitter at 1980_Greenwood. So follow me there as well for a laugh. And thanks for having me. It's been great fun tonight. Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. And what about yourself, so I can find you as well? You're on mute.
It's on mute.
Forgot I was on mute. Yeah, you can find me at Ruggyboy101 on Twitter and Ross Morgan on Facebook. Yeah.
Hashtag sugar.
I remember to unmute myself next time.
Oh dear. And John just asking, where's that quiz, Sam?
Exactly. Been asking for months.
I'm going to have it in my channel soon. I'm just going to put it together and get it done, and we'll do it.
Well,
If you have anything else to do, quiz. Sam, come on.
Where's the quiz?
Where's the quiz? That's the first question. Is it here? Is it there? Where is it?
Is it here? Is it there?
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
No, it's the black
animal,
shadow.
vegetable, mineral.
It's a vegetable mineral.
ASL.
ASL. Remember ASL? Oh my god.
Oh dear.
ASL. And the next one was, do you have a picture? Do you have a picture?
Yeah. ASL on MSN Messenger or whatever it was.
Yeah. And IRC and all that those days. Oh my god. Anyway, we're dragging it on now. Sorry, Ryan. Yeah, sorry, we're done.
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
Next one.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's taken us 20 minutes to wrap up. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's when you enjoy
My
something.
tea's getting cold. My cup of tea's getting cold.
Oh, yeah. Got a kettle.
I boiled the kettle 2 hours ago.
Get the kettle back on. Put the hot water back in. Stir it. Back to your uncle. You're fine.
Never thought of that.
Microwave it.
Oh God, no.
Microwave it.
Things ain't that bad. Jesus. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming along. Again, thanks to the panel and to you guys in the chat for keeping, obviously, as we said earlier, keeping the chat absolutely going from start to finish. It's still going now. Literally, there's 3 comments I haven't read yet. I'm trying to wrap this up. Already subscribed apparently to yourself. Awesome, thanks and all that. Yeah, again, it's just we'll try something different. It seems like it's hit off, so we're going to keep them going. We'll do a poll over on Twitter. So if you haven't already followed me on Twitter, it's literally going across the screen now. Mr. Arsenal 89, Instagram's there as well. Ryan Fletcher 89. Also, if you want to find me on Facebook, it's the Mr. Arsenal podcast group page, and yeah, that's basically it. And if you're new to the channel and you've liked what we've done tonight, it's something different, even though it's a football channel, do hit the subscribe button. We are counting as our double check. Jesse's gone. We're gone up, one of the two. It load. It wants to load. Well, it says we're currently 95 away from 1K, so the quicker we get there, the better. And you know what? Again, that'd be a massive thank you to you guys. But do smash that like button as well. Smash the hell out of it. Keep going. And until next time, guys, which will probably be on Friday, have a good night, have a good Thursday, and see you then. Until then, up the Arsenal.
Up the
Go
Arsenal.
on, you Gunner.
Up the Arsenal.